Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Crossover is powered by Everlow Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlowconcrete.com.
Hello.
You learn something new every day. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Great. Great. How are you?
I'm still feeling it from the weekend, but feeling good.
Okay. Yeah. I imagine
The bowling?
Yeah, I imagine the post bowling wasn't too fun for you.
Well, no, we went. We had a barbecue up on the rooftop right after that, so we just kind of kept it riding.
We're just looking upside down in his hat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good.
It was.
People forget about the upside down hats.
People do forget,
And now they can't. They cannot forget.
I believe that trend is starting to
Maybe
land.
it is, but I figured I'd bust out a hat today.
What's the next trend? We went from upside down lettering to cord. What's the next trend in the hat?
Whoa!
I remember, I know the next trend in hats. The NFL started it this weekend. Ugly hats.
Yeah, that Chiefs hat.
How about when the letters go vertical? It spells something vertically all the way to the back of the hat. You know, it says Blue Jays, but the B is like right on top of your head.
So that's stupid.
Yeah, but everyone said upside down letters are stupid. And yet, look at them now.
I still know that it's Blue Jays. Like I can still read it, you know?
There had to be a board meeting where somebody said, let's put the letters upside down. Or do you think it was like a misprint and they were like, let's just sell it anyway?
How about the other thing that's going on now is the golf hats that just have one word, but it's giant letters like golf. You know, on your hat. How about
your black shirt hat's kind of like that?
Yes,
a little bit.
How about the tiniest letters you could imagine?
I was gonna say patch hats, just hats that don't they're just like they have the words and then they have like a patch like in it as well, like on the front.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So like you'll have Blue Jays, but then like I bet somebody will put like a Creighton logo, like a little Creighton patch on the front of your hat or something like that.
Oh, like you stick it on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's in. I think that's the next iteration because I love a patch on the side of the hat, but I'm talking like a patch in the middle with lettering.
Make your own hats.
I showed this to Matt the other day. There is an Ohio State hat that just says
Josh, it's the stupidest thing ever.
Sure,
it is right. I want you to look at it because I thought of you when I saw this. I'm like, Odson would roast the crap out of this. It is disgusting.
But if you are an Ohio State fan and you see it, you automatically know what it is.
Sure. And then the rest of the world, 90% of the population would be like, why do you have an article on your head?
Error on my part. I Googled the hat. And a restaurant in Alhambra, California came up.
Ooh, click the menu and have Connor read the URL.
Yes, the URL.
Oh, yeah.
No,
good bit.
I don't read URLs anymore. That part of my life is over.
Thehat.com/menu.
Never read URLs.
Did you?
That is the name of a restaurant? That's your choice?
World famous pastrami, it says.
Hang on. What?
On what roll? What type of roll?
Hoagie.
Whoa. Ooh, pastrami on
a hoagie.
That's
different.
Yeah, it's got to be California-ish.
It's got to be on a nice thick slice bread.
Yeah.
You know, something.
You got to be on a sourdough or on a rye.
Rye. Yeah. Pastrami
or
on a rye.
Do you like a marble rye?
Sure.
I love marble rye.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like the quality of Reuben is so much higher on a marble rye compared
Yeah,
to
I don't even think you should be
rye.
allowed to make Reubens on a non-marble rye.
Is that a poll question? Can you make Reubens on? Can you not make Reubens on marble rye?
Should you be allowed to make Reubens on non-marble rye?
Do you think like the Reuben police are going to come?
Yeah,
well,
1,000,000%.
And they're going to shut you down.
I'd like to be
here.
I'd like to be the Reuben police.
If I went, I would sign up together. Do you want to? Do you want to join? We're partners. How about you and I do a buddy cop movie about Reubens?
Yeah, we track down all the people who are making Reubens idiotically.
We eat Reubens and then just arrest a bunch of guys named Reuben.
Why don't you get to the bottom? Is it Lincoln or Omaha that started Reubens? Because
it's Omaha.
It's Omaha,
yeah.
But the people in Lincoln will say, not so fast.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Everyone knows.
See, if you were given a Reuben at a restaurant without a marble rye, would you send it back? Would you tell them, hey, you got to get this on a proper piece of bread here?
No, I'd probably eat it, but
you'd be like, Did you guys run out?
They put it on a flour tortilla.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
Reuben,
you like
Reuben burrito?
Reuben burrito?
Reuben taco?
Talk about some
Now,
Irish Mexican
like
That is
fusion.
special
something
at
that does
Block 16.
exist. The Reuben taco.
Yeah, I would eat a Reuben taco.
You know what? Mexican cuisine is finding its way more and more into things because there's now a place that I frequent. They have a burrito taco pizza.
Okay. All right.
You don't like that?
That's
Doesn't that sound delicious?
predictable.
Burrito, onion, cilantro, and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I haven't had it yet. I haven't. Now I've had a burrito egg roll before.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in the egg roll. I don't know.
I think
Pizza just seems like
yeah.
blasphemy to me, but do you? People have been doing it for years.
I used to make spicy tofu egg rolls in college.
That's great.
It's like one of my favorite things. If I was on Beat Bobby Flay and they were
Okay,
like, what's your
okay.
signature dish? I'd be like, we're making egg rolls, Bobby.
Put 3 poll questions up at Happer Show on
Okay.
Twitter. Should you be allowed to make Reubens on non-marble rye bread? Do you want to be on the Reuben police? And finally, would you see a buddy cop movie starring Connor Happer and Matt McMaster as the Reuben police?
Yes.
The Reuben police.
Reuben police.
Yeah.
We find the Reubens.
The bad Reubens. Yeah. Mike says Reuben burrito. Side eye emoji. Watch out.
We'll eat Reubens and then we'll try and hunt down Reuben Foster.
What's Reuben Studdard up to? these
Reuben
days?
Sierra.
Yeah.
Ooh. Who didn't try and emulate his batting
Oh,
stance?
it's a great batting stance. Yeah, famous Reubens.
Yeah, not too many. Michael
yet.
Reuben. Michael Reuben. He definitely,
Fanatics?
Yeah. And Philadelphia, formerly Philadelphia 76ers. He's the guy who does the white clothes
White
party,
Reuben Drones. Remember Reuben Drones?
No, I don't remember Reuben.
Really?
Drones.
He was a football guy. He played for the Broncos. Reuben Drones, I think. Yeah, he went to. Well, he
Is
was picked by the
Reuben- is-
Lions in the third round of the 2000 draft.
Is Reuben a offensive football name or a defensive football name? I feel like if you're a Reuben, you should be on
Ooh.
defense.
We have examples of both.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like I just a Reuben just sounds like a middle linebacker.
According to-
or an edge.
According to ranker.com, Reuben Drones is the number one Reuben ever. The number one.
Is this that website that has TikTok 6-year-old TikTokers as the
No,
most famous person
this one,
with a birthday?
that's famousbirthdays.com,
Yeah.
which is
Oh.
a nightmare.
Oh, look at this. This is a great one. Reuben Patterson, former Milwaukee Buck.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a pull.
The rest of these people are
Oh,
In
we
black
forgot
and
a
white
good one.
pictures.
Reuben Tejada.
Oh, yeah.
Reuben Tejada.
Reuben
Nice.
Tejada. That's a baseball name right there. That's a great
Whatever
baseball.
happened to Reuben Studdard?
Reuben Studdard.
There was
Still
that stretch
grinding
of he is. There was
Yeah.
a stretch of American Idol winners that just kind of disappeared.
Oh, here's a good one. Reuben Brown.
Well, no,
Whoa.
he used to launch careers, and now I couldn't name a single person who's won that show in the last 10 years.
Why is
used to launch
Wikipedia down?
careers as being nice to American Idol.
Kelly
Oh
Clarkson?
no, well,
Carrie
Harry
Underwood?
Underwood,
no.
Kelly
No, no, no.
Clarkson,
I mean, of
Fantasia Barrina?
yeah, out of like
Scotty McCreery,
David,
Chris
like,
Daughtry,
David Cook, David Archuleta.
Philip Phillips. Okay,
Philip Phillips.
We're all there. I agree. But what I'm saying is, for the thousands of people that have been on that show, the fact that we can only name like 8,
But that's
they're
what I'm
the
saying.
winners.
I used to launch
That's
careers.
more than The Voice.
Yeah, now not so much.
The voice has not done that at all. What happened to Grace Vanderwall? You guys remember Grace Vanderwall?
Nope.
Nope. What
America's
did she
Got-
get launched?
She was an
I don't know.
8-year-old singer, America's Got Talent, and Simon Cowell used his golden buzzer on her.
Oh.
And she was like a big sensation. I think she won. Grace Vanderwall, you guys gonna know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely not.
Nope.
Reuben Studdard
kidding
will
me?
be performing at the Katharine Hepburn Cultural Arts Center in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, September 4th.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. By the way, last year's Nebraska-Indiana game has begun
Yeah,
to play on the
right.
BTN.
Oh, no.
This is not good. This is up there. There it was. There's the fumble. Nebraska was going to go down
Oh
and
my
tie.
god. Have you
And then what's his name? Dowdell, right? He fumbled.
ever seen the
How
all
soon you forget?
Yeah.
have you ever seen the all 22 of that run?
I don't.
Did I
don't
send
know.
you that
I
picture?
blacked
Did I
out.
send you that picture of Dante Dowdell? The hole that Dante Dowdell
Oh yeah,
had
I've seen that.
to
yeah.
run through. The fact that ended in a fumble was ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, he couldn't. He actually could not
See,
see.
look, hey, Jackie Happer's in the chat. She said Grace was
My
in it.
wife.
She goes, Grace was in a Disney movie, Stargirl.
Yeah,
was
she
so
watches
good.
all the TV.
See?
All
Grace
the
Vanderwall.
TV.
Grace Vanderwall was a talent.
Is she on the Vanderpimps show or what are they
no,
called?
No. That's Vanderpump Rules.
Oh.
Okay. That is a News reality TV show
Oh, yeah.
type deal
My wife knows about that.
about a restaurant, I believe. And all the people, and they're all dating each
What's
other. and
the
there's a
guy
bunch of-
Tom? They had some controversy. He
There was some
cheated
stuff
on-
going
yeah.
on. Yeah.
There's a whole thing. I don't know. There's a. I like to watch Chip and Joanna Gaines every once in a while. Because we're getting to the point with Beat Bobby Flay that now I'm seeing reruns of Beat Bobby Flay. Like I know, like it's concerning. I'm like, oh, I know. Like he makes a chocolate pie in this one and he
takes the
wins.
fun out of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've been watching too much.
Scandival. Scamdival.
I don't know.
That's Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom created controversy.
There you
People
go.
hated Tom.
There you go.
He like cheated on one of them.
Somebody.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Vanderpump woman was in a different
Oh, I'm sure there's been
she was
spin-offs.
in it. No, I think Vanderpump Rules was a spin-off of what of like another reality show that this Vanderpump woman was in,
All
if
right.
I'm not mistaken.
I could
I'm
hear
not-
my wife furiously typing into her
Click,
phone.
clack,
Yeah.
click, clack.
Yeah.
Do you know that do you watch Project Runway? You watch Project Runway? There's a new
Make it
Project
work.
Runway.
No.
Thank you, Mood.
I don't watch it either.
No?
I haven't
Sorry.
seen it. No, I haven't seen it.
No, Project Runway is great. So my mother was all into the Keeping Up with the Kardashians and the Kiss reality TV show with Gene Simmons and Project Runway. So we would have that channel on, and so during the summer I would be Heidi Klum is back in Project Runway. Avita
Whoa.
Zay.
Why'd she ever leave?
Avita Zay. She took a little bit of a break, but now she's back, and now they have.
She's still a SEAL.
Oh, so you're all up in Bravo.
Yeah, so Nina Garcia is back too with
I thought
Heidi
you didn't
Klum.
watch TV.
No,
You watch Bravo.
This is the Bravo network was always on in the house. That was probably my that and the Oprah Winfrey show was always on as well. So Heidi Klum and Nina Garcia are they're back for Project 1A, and then there's a guy. His name is La Roche, and he's awesome in it. He's incredible. He is the personal designer for Zendaya, and so he's all now.
What a job.
Michael Kors used to be. He's like the banana
Of the
Republic.
Molson Coors family?
No, Michael Kors. He's of the Michael Kors brand.
Oh, Michael Kors.
Kors, yeah.
Yeah.
He,
Kors.
Yeah, Kors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that
He was
name.
on that show as well. He is now off. So,
Oh.
but now they're doing they have a brand new season this year, and it's all about teams. They're all like it's like Survivor. They're all on a team together, and they're all making their different like production lines.
You and my wife
whatnot.
should do a podcast.
Yeah.
Project Runway is an incredible show.
Just tear up, let her go.
It is so ridiculous how extra it is. It's just entertainment. I'm just entertained by all of these crazy people.
That's what they all say.
I'm excited that Adam LaRoche found a gig.
No. And but
Former
Drake,
Major Leaguer?
Drake,
Yeah.
And by the way, his son Drake isn't in the show either.
Drake LaRoche.
Drake LaRoche.
Did he play baseball?
Adam LaRoche was on the White Sox in I think 2016.
He's a good
And-
grid guy.
Good
And
guy.
there was
Yeah.
a massive controversy because he would bring his son into the clubhouse everywhere he
right.
went.
Oh, that's right.
And it caused
Drake.
it caused a massive problem. The guy's like, why is your son
That's
always
Why
in
are
the
Drake's
MLB
always
locker room?
causing massive
And
problems?
then I'm pretty sure that he got cut from the team or something.
LaRoche is a good grid guy. He played for, can you name all the teams that Adam LaRoche played for?
No.
No, God,
White
no.
Sox Angels.
He amazingly was a White
No?
Sox for
He was
only
the-
one season, which
Uh,
seems shocking to me.
He
Is
was
he a
never in,
Giant?
he was never in La La Land.
So
I thought
what-
he played for the Giants too.
he was a White Sox. You guys
Was he a
got that.
Rocky?
He was never an Angel.
Was he a Rocky?
He was never a Rocky.
He gives off Rocky vibes.
the most famous. I think the best years of his career were spent in Washington for the Nationals. He was a National. He was a Brave. He was a Pittsburgh Pirate.
He was a Brave twice.
He was an Arizona Diamondback, and he was a Boston Red Sox for 6 games in 2009. I don't know what happened
Seems
there.
to be a guy
You
that's
got
the
double
popular player to be named later.
6 in the MVP voting in 2012 with the Nationals.
Whoa.
How about that? 33 dongs, 100 driven in. That's a good year.
Should watch Project Runway. It's a funny show.
Led the league in sack flies.
Great. What?
Lost
did.
start.
Led the league in sack flies.
Way to get. Way to do a job, Adam LaRoche.
That belongs to Vinny Pasquantino now.
Does it actually?
Probably.
Currently?
I would imagine that
there's got to be. Hey, if you got one offensive stat, you're leaning on
It's
the
still
Royals.
an RBI.
I bet he probably does. I don't know where I would find that, but I would imagine that Vinny Pasquantino leads baseball in sack flies. Should I check?
You should.
Yeah, I need some closure.
Right in his contract.
If you lead on sack flies, you get
if you have if you're the league leader in some category that is not strikeouts.
He led baseball in sack flies last year. 13 of them things.
Hey, there is an art to hitting a sack fly.
This year he's only hit 2.
Whoa.
18
because he's going for more power. He's got 20 home runs.
Yeah.
Does Jonathan India lead the league in productive ground ball outs to the second baseman that
baseball
moved
unproductive?
I don't know what you got. I got Perdomo leading the league in sack flies with 10.
There you go. I'm just looking at Vinny's page.
Austin Wells has 9.
Do you think when you go
Suarez
to a
has
ballpark
7.
and during BP when they put up all the league leaders, that sack fly total just goes quickly off the big screen?
When they get creative when they put the individual guys on the scoreboard and they find really, really obscure stats that they lead baseball in. Like this guy is the second best hitter in baseball over the last 14 games on the road at night. I'm like, all right, nice. I think he's going to get a hit here.
Dude, the Chicago White Sox back in 2017 were the best at doing. You go to the cell and be like, in his last 23 at-bats against the Yankees at home, Matt Davidson is actually 18 for, whatever.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
Obviously, Garcia
you gotta find it somewhere.
One of those weird stats.
Those stat guys are working hard in the stat department.
Did you check out any of my stream, by the way? I talked about you a little bit on the stream.
There was like 40 of them.
There was a lot of them. I
couldn't really pay attention.
I've never done a Twitter live before, so I had no clue what I was doing in terms of the settings. So I kept having to reset the live over and over.
There was too many.
And if you watch, there was one time where we put our beer down on the table and you could not see the lane.
Oh
yeah,
no.
Yeah, we didn't. So my friend Dan came and he was there for a good hour and a half. And then we got to we needed 180. We needed 180 to win, right? To get out of there. And I bowled 72. And
there was no world in which you were reaching 180.
And Dan
Connor.
I know.
I know. Bowling is not his sport.
We have found
that
out.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Leave bowling alone.
Yeah. We found that out.
So it became awesome too because the people who were working at the bowling alley, shout out Chops, by the way, who allowed me to do this. They started giving me free games of bowling at the end because they felt bad.
Nice. Pity games.
The guy's name's his name's Patrick. His name's PJ. He listens to the show. Pat goes, "You're good from here on out." He goes, just keep going. Don't worry about it. We're gonna keep funneling to you until you're done. And I'm like, sounds great. So, and then I started having a nice couple buying me drinks at the bars. They started covering my tab there too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we ate 4 hot dogs and had 16 beverages, and got out of there. And now I think I'm trading the #1 overall pick. So
you did
also listening. I've not only watching that bowling's not your sport. Drafting fantasy football team is not your sport either.
Oh no!
He goes into this thing. He's talking. Is that just friends, that older couple that was there?
Yeah.
He goes, well, who'd you have as your quarterback? Anthony Richardson. Then I had Trevor Lawrence.
Whoa.
And then he starts rattling off guys that I'm like, they should be on a bench in some fantasy football league.
Anthony Richardson is not a horrible fantasy guy to have, even though he is a horrible quarterback in the NFL. He's not a bad fantasy guy to have.
Sorry, Peter.
At any given time, he could run for 100 yards.
But Matt is going through his roster, and I'm like, oh my God,
no
wonder you finished last.
ETN, Olave, Waddle, Foster Moreau, and
You're thinking about it too much.
Foster Moreau and Luke Musgrave. Those were my tight end selections. And then I had TJ Hawkinson, who didn't come back till week 6.
Bad team.
Rashee Rice was on my team, but then he tore his ACL. Yeah. Xavier Worthy. Oh, I had Jaden Reed, but he was good for 2 weeks and then he was done.
That sounds like a real bad fantasy. How many teams are in this league?
12 teams.
Okay.
I went I forgot what my record was, but while I was bowling, I get a text from Gary that goes, Gary texts me, goes, you should have to bowl a 300 because you started with Michelob Ultra.
What do you got against Michelob Ultra?
You drinking water today or Mick Ultra?
It's just an easy sipper, man.
Yeah.
He knew he was going to drink 12.
So
Ain't nothing wrong with Michelob Ultra.
Well, yeah. So I really had 13 beers, and then we started taking shots because that was just we needed to go quickly. And,
It looked like the beers were in small cups.
so it was a 60-ounce pitcher and it was a 12-ounce cup. And so I had to I called my commissioner and I go, hey, just so you know, 60 ounces, 12 ounce per beer. We'll just call it one pitcher's 5 beers. Is that cool with you? He then went through the higher ups in the league and they all approved it.
Okay.
So each pitcher counted for 5.
All right.
So, and then also Gary then texted me right under that. He goes, also, you are right. You are a terrible bowler.
I didn't see you bowl a ball once. I didn't. But I clicked on some of the live streams and you were either very, very close to the camera or I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, Michael Severe also was getting on me because I was chewing. At one point I wasn't talking. I was going through it and it was really tough. Like it was really difficult. And it was just me eating a hot dog on the camera.
Yikes.
Just really close to the camera, saying no words for like 3 minutes and just me chewing loudly into the microphone.
But there were people walking by you that were like just throwing out advice on how to bowl.
So at the end, it got funny. So also there was these 6 girls showed up who I think they're on like the grade school bowling team. Like they had to be like 13 to like 16 years old. They just showed up and they were hanging out because I think they knew the people who worked there or whatever, or they might've worked there. And I was bowling and I was the only person bowling and I could start to hear them laugh in the background.
Yep.
And
it is funny.
It was very clear that those girls were just making fun of me behind my back.
Yeah.
Because of how bad at bowling I was. And then I made a joke to them and then they started making fun of me to my face, which was great.
Awesome.
So it is awesome.
I wish that would have been captured on the live stream.
It was captured on the live stream.
All right,
It's
I'll have
probably,
to go back and
probably
look at the
somewhere there.
archives.
Yeah.
Just have to go back through the timeline, maybe start,
Yeah.
and then work your
There's
way
about
up.
well,
It's a
there's about
long,
9
deep
different
dive.
live streams. I was there for 4 hours.
That's a long time to be at Chops. It's a long
It's
time.
a great place. I spent $100.
You know what? I was very appreciative because I was able to watch like the first 2 innings of the Astros-Yankees game that was on one of the TVs that was by the scoreboard. So thank you. I saw Correa's home run.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I wasn't paying attention to anything that was going on other than me drinking beer. And now I'll say this: those hot dogs at Chops, like, dude,
I'm telling you, man, bowling alley food, it rocks.
Yeah.
they were a quarter-pound hot dogs. I ate a pound of meat at Chops.
Not a hot dog.
Yeah, 1 pound of hot dogs.
1 pound of hot dog.
That's what I ate.
Great news. Nebraska has cut the Indiana lead in half. And it feels like they're in this, Maybe this won't be their last points of the game. Maybe. Yeah.
Have we gotten to the Fedoni misses a block and Dylan gets crushed part yet?
Whoa.
I don't know.
What,
MJ Sherman just did a roughing the passer because he hit Rourke in the head. Wasn't this the
can't be
game where Rourke screwed up his
Yeah, he
thumb?
missed. Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah.
And so he didn't play the next game.
He didn't play. I mean, he was never 100% the rest of the year.
No, this is where my this game actually is where my plus 5,500 Rourke to win Heisman Trophy ticket went to die. So
Why are they showing this game?
It's probably
Is it Indiana Day?
It must be.
Gotta be.
Can't wait,
I think Iowa's on the bus tour today.
can't wait to see what Signetti has to say.
oh, nice hit.
I'm always excited to hear him talk.
Remember when he talked before the game on the field, and then they talked to him at halftime, and you're like, Nebraska is screwed today.
Yep. What a loser. That guy sucks.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Yeah.
It went to college football playoff.
I know what he did.
He's a great coach.
You haven't changed?
I know the things that he
He's
has
actually
done.
one of the most winningest coaches in college football.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are really successful who are losers, and that guy is a loser. A loser.
I appreciate.
I'd rather-
you have been
I'd
strong
rather-
on Signetti hate from day one.
That's right, and I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Could be the next coach of Nebraska.
I will.
Whoa.
He will not be the next
Next
coach
coach
at
of
Nebraska.
I'm kidding.
He will not be the
I'm
next coach at
kidding.
Nebraska.
I'm kidding. I'm
His
making-
brother has already been the coach here.
History will show me to be on the right side yet again. But
we have a bet about
it
this.
takes some guts to say the things that I have said and do the things that I've done. And I expected to be out on an island right now, but don't worry.
You know his team's going to be better this year, right?
You'll see it. You'll see
His
it.
team's going to be
Matt Rule.
that team and Indiana is going to be better this year. They have more talent and returning production. It'd be really good.
Yeah.
They're going to be ranked probably 15th, 14th to begin the season.
That's awesome.
AP Media Poll.
Yeah. They should give him a trophy for that.
I mean, I think he does have a trophy of some sorts. I think it's called, Coach of the Year last season?
Is that what he won?
Yep.
Is that what they gave him? Indiana, so cute and so fun. We love when Indiana has success at football. It's so cool. Terrible.
What, they're not. They're a good team.
No,
I'm
not saying that they are terrible. I'm saying that everyone thinks about them.
I was wrong. Marcus Freeman won the Coach of the Year.
Interesting.
That is
rewriting history to fit your own narrative.
Hey, I'm very good at it.
So Indiana comes here next year.
Awesome. I'll be there with bells on.
You and I have a lunch bet.
Yeah, let me go back in my notes and see what that is.
No, it's Illinois and Indiana.
Let me make sure that you are not rewriting history.
Yeah,
One
not
of
like
them-
the Coach of the Year award. Here.
Okay, I just assumed that he won it.
Okay,
He
tell
took
me
Indiana.
Tell me what you think the bet is.
The bet is that if one of Illinois or Indiana makes the college football playoff, you owe me lunch.
That's correct.
And if they don't, if one of them doesn't, I owe you lunch.
That's correct.
There you go.
It says bet with Matt. Indiana and Illinois
hey.
will not make the playoff. If one
Hey.
makes it, Matt wins.
Hey, Connor Happer, I forget a lot of things. I never forget my bets.
Okay. Well, you probably want to start trying that because it seems like you're stinky at betting.
Why? That was rude.
I'm just saying.
You're
going to lose this one.
You only know I'm
Indiana and Illinois in the playoff. Give me a break.
First off, if you go ahead and you look at my notes app, you can see that I'm up a couple $100 here to date. Okay, so I've been killing it. Secondly, I'm not bad at betting. That was a very rude thing for you to say.
Well,
that was not nice.
I'm firing shots. You're firing shots.
I'm not firing shots. I'm defending the guy that led a team that nobody gave a damn about to the college football playoff.
No, now everybody gives a damn about him, and everyone's better for it, right?
Yeah.
No, everyone's
what
worse for it.
What do you mean? We can't acknowledge the fact that is he a bit of a douche canoe? Yeah, totally.
Thank you. That's
is he
all
also
I'm saying.
a really good football coach? Damn right. Both could be true.
I have never said that he's not good at football coaching.
He's great at football coaching.
He seems fine.
I want to
fine is wild.
Does Illinois not have a good on-3 site? Because they
have a
going
24/7.
Oh, because they got to be going after Sam McKewon today.
Whoa.
Did he not put him in the top 25?
No. They're not in the top 25 at all.
Go, Sam!
Craziness.
That's why Sam's my guy.
You know, they were 12th in the coaches poll.
Yeah. Well, got to earn it. Got to go get it.
What do you mean earn it? They won.
They
won 9 games last year.
Yeah, you got to earn it. Nebraska's in there. They earned it.
No, they didn't. Nebraska has way less earning it in merit towards being in the top 25 than Illinois.
I'm hearing different.
No. What you're hearing is incorrect.
You saying Sam McKewon doesn't know ball?
Interesting.
You know what? I'm saying that Sam McKewon is wrong for putting Nebraska at 25 and Illinois not in the top 25. Illinois was 12th ahead of South Carolina and Michigan in the coaches poll.
Let's just say
and are returning more production than
coaches know
anyone in the
everything.
Big Ten.
I love the coaches poll. I've long thought about it.
What about vibes? Have you thought about vibes?
What do you mean? What vibes? Brett Bielema is actually putting together a great program in Champaign.
The vibes in Champaign are whenever he walks on the floor and the floor vibrates.
Nah.
The vibes have never been higher.
Vibes are immaculate in Lincoln.
I'm actually like,
have you seen our coach barbecue?
they're actually killing it. And have you seen our AD barbecue? That pig looked kind of small.
Your takeaway was the barbecue. My takeaway was the shirt he was wearing.
Well,
that he brought it back from the.
A lot of people had
from
shirts
the cow.
Yeah.
From the cow.
I zagged on that one.
Does Matt Rule shop at like all the vintage Husker stores that everybody else
I
shops
think
at?
they probably just toss him his shirt and say, "Hey, put this on." I don't
Do
know.
you think he's that malleable? Like, just here, do this.
Yes,
Because I kind of think he is.
I think
yeah.
he can fit into whatever environment he needs to.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he can fit into whatever shirt he needs to fit
that
into.
seems to be the case as well.
He's getting in better shape. Apparently, he's working out.
That's what I've heard.
Well, he's
Every morning.
trying to beat the guys to the gym, and every time he walks in the gym, somebody's there.
Yeah.
My gosh, thought I got here first.
It always happens to be the guy that
judging
has the
off your
biggest questions
snarkyism. Only 2 more weeks, Josh, and then we'll have games.
That'll be great.
I love games.
That would be great.
All right.
Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Good luck on your bets.
What do you got today?
I got nothing today. I lost yesterday.
You lost.
Yeah, Michael.
Bet on yesterday.
Michael McDowell and Chris Buescher to win at the Glen, and then I put $20 on the Cubs. So it's I told you my budget is my budget, and I'm actually not going to be gambling for the next 2 weeks until the first Saturday of college football.
Didn't you say that when I came in here a couple of weeks ago?
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean,
it got to the point where he's
get a
so
feel.
bad he quit.
You do some research.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
He's definitely good. I can hear it in your voice.
Fine, we're okay.
All right, that's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair at Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Monday. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone.
Patchy fog for your Monday morning will give way to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. A slight chance for a stray shower, but most remaining dry. High today of 81 with light and variable winds. For your Monday night, staying partly cloudy and mild, a low of 65. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Monday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you, back for a fresh week, and happy AP poll release day for everyone who celebrates. This is basically a holiday, Josh.
It is, and we're working on a holiday.
Nebraska will get at least one vote in the top 25.
Got a vote?
Yeah, you got a vote from Sam McKewon.
Thank you, Sam, ball knower,
who just
Sam McKewon.
So happens to be a guest on this show coming up today at 1 o'clock. So we're excited to talk with him about that. Will Nebraska be in the AP preseason top 25? I sort of doubt it. My guess is that they end up in the neighborhood of 30 and probably right behind Iowa because that's the way all of these things have gone for good reason. That's the way that every single list you could imagine, listing teams in the Big Ten, listing teams around the country, quarterbacks, the Nebraska guy is one spot behind the Iowa guy. So that'd be my guess. Whatever Nebraska is ranked. So my official guess is 30. Let's just say 31.
Ooh.
Let's say Nebraska is the equivalent of 31st in the AP poll, and Iowa comes in 30. Lock it in. That's my official guess. AP poll comes out at the top of the hour, I believe, or maybe noon. I think it's at 11 at noon Eastern. Today on the show, Mike Schaefer will drop by as he regularly does on Mondays. Sam McKewon coming up at 1. Schaefer's at 11:30. And George Gerbo of the Washington Times will help us preview the next opponent on Nebraska's schedule following Michigan State, the guest we talked to on Friday. Maryland.
People forget.
Crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does. Maryland, one of the worst two teams in the Big Ten, according to most. But Nebraska has to go all the way out to the East Coast. And who knows, it might be a night game. And they might be focused on the Minnesota game, which is a week before that. Is it a trap? Or a week, 6 days after that? Is it a trap game that Nebraska has in their schedule? Or are we allowed to call anything trap games because of Nebraska's propensity to lose games, point blank, period?
Well, Connor, it's a trap conference. That's what we say inside these walls.
It is a trap conference. That is what we should start calling the Big Ten, the trap conference. We in the trap. Josh, how was your weekend?
It was good. Kind of the calm before the storm. Didn't do much, and that was purposeful.
So you went to a movie with a bunch of children last night at 11 o'clock?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I went to a movie at 11 o'clock last night.
That's not abnormal for Josh, the way.
I tend to avoid people, which is fine.
It's a great call by you.
I went to the number one movie at the box office this weekend, Weapons. If you don't know, it's a horror movie. That's basically all you have to know about this movie.
Okay.
I really, really don't want to be on the air questioning other people's parenting.
But
there were two sets of adults. Each had children. There were 5 children in this movie theater last night, Connor. At 11 o'clock on a Sunday with people.
No school tomorrow, Josh.
Okay.
It's still summer.
But right in front of their face on a 3-story screen, people were getting their heads blown off.
Fair. And what age children are we talking about? Old enough to take the money and go to the concession stand and buy their own candy?
Yes, I would say just generally 5th grade.
Okay, so 10,
maybe a few above, maybe a few below. About 5th grade.
All right, so a bunch of 10-year-olds. So there's a few things going on here. Josh, number one, doesn't want to be in the movie theater with a bunch of 10-year-olds because he goes to the movies for the express purpose of being alone.
I do.
So that's one thing. So that probably clouds the vision a little bit. Also, it is the movie. People getting their heads blown off, like you said.
I get it.
It's the timing, 11 o'clock. It's not exactly prime bring your kids to the movie time, but maybe that's what they were thinking too. Maybe they wanted to be alone. Maybe they thought that their family was such a nuisance to other people that they would go when there's nobody else there, and you just happen to be the one guy in the crossfire.
Maybe. I mean, I get it. Your family values are different than my family values, and that's fine. But
also,
boy, taking your child to a movie where 17 kids mysteriously disappear in the middle of the night seems like a threat to your children.
J-Man says, once I saw the woman stab herself with the fork in her own face in the trailer, I was good not seeing the movie Weapons.
That's right.
I did not see the trailer or frankly even knew that this movie existed.
Yeah, you've never heard of this
until you started tweeting about it last night. But there was another tweet from you about how I think this is right in the timeline, about how the concession order should not be this big deliberation.
Good God, people.
What are they?
Who walks up to the concession stand?
The problem is there's so many options.
Doesn't know what they want.
But there's so many options now.
Okay.
They'll probably tell you, well, if you get a popcorn, a large drink, and a candy, you could combo that, and then you get something else on the side or something like that. That'll cost you $24. So you want to make it economical.
I will again remind you this was an 11 o'clock show. So you get there, it was about 10:30 because I'm a freak. The concession employee, who is a child, a teenager, says, "I'm sorry, the kitchen is closed."
That makes sense.
So
because it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you can't get your chicken tendies, you can't get your burgers, your pizzas. So you got popcorn and candy.
That's it.
Why is there conversation amongst the couple in front of me?
It's a great question.
Like, what's the standard? What's the standard order? That's what you're getting. It's 10:30 on a Sunday. Get it and go.
Maybe they were
get the hell out of my way.
Maybe they were complaining to the kitchen that the kitchen wasn't open. Could you go open the kitchen? My kid wants chicken tendies. My kid wants a hamburger.
I really tried to get them to turn the fryer on so that we could get some wings, but no big deal if we didn't. They still had that meat lovers pizza in the trunk.
Did you watch that this weekend?
I did not, actually.
We got a tweet from Platcat this weekend that he did.
Thank you, Platcat.
That's good. He was listening to What to Watch on Friday. So that is the setup for today's show with Schaefer, Sam, and George Gerbo from the Washington Times. And that's the lineup. Powered by the Rooferees from John Higgins Weather Guard. We want to hear from you all today, 402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Call or text that number anytime throughout the show. Tweeted Happer Show at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor Josh Show at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. And we say good morning to the YouTube streamers today. How we doing, everybody? I posed a question earlier on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed at Connor Happer. What are the 4 major Omaha streets? I expected to get varying responses on this. It has not disappointed so far.
Okay.
So I want to hear what you guys think. Please, you could interact with that if you need a jumping off point for today. I tweeted it like 2 hours ago, 8:15 in the morning. I was thinking about it all weekend because people have been going around and they've been asking with their tiny microphones. They've been asking, what are the 4 major U.S. cities? And you end up getting some interesting results off of it. Everyone says New York and LA, sure. And then the other 2 are, dependent on a lot of different things, where you live and or what you think and all those different things. So you get some interesting responses on that. So I was trying to scale it down. What's the Omaha version of this? I'm going, what are Omaha's 4 major streets? There is one that has to be on there, in my opinion. The other 3,
Bob Boozer Drive.
The other 3 are up to you. It is our construction-filled Dodge Street.
Dodge.
What a street. So if you'd like to, please send in a tweet on that subject as well. Elsewhere today on the show, we'll talk more about children. This one dresses as an umpire at baseball games.
That's not much better than going to see a horror movie at 11 o'clock on a Sunday.
Matt Rule has officially ignited the hype train on his punter this year.
Yeah, everyone was talking about the punter over the weekend.
I tell you what, there's a little something in there just for me, too.
Oh?
I'm starting to bite on this situation. Yeah, we'll play the clip later on in the show.
We kicked out a legacy for this kid.
The Milwaukee Brewers cannot lose. They cannot lose behind potential NL Rookie of the Year, Isaac Collins. Honk.
Oh,
who had a walk-off home run yesterday. Happy AP poll day for those who celebrate. Jon Gruden would die to coach in the SEC, and a variety of other topics. But yes, we'll talk plenty of Husker football today on the show. Glad you're with us. We're off and running on a Monday on 1620 The Zone.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair.
All right, coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk about Nebraska's new incredible bipedal punter.
Careful.
I believe that's how you say the word that, to describe kicking footballs with both feet.
What's ambidextrous for the feet?
Bipedal.
Bipedal or bipedal?
Bipedal. I would assume it's bipedal.
Sure.
Given the context, but you might know better than me. I've never really said it out loud before. I've only seen it.
I think as a state, we're going to learn.
Speaking of things that have not been done before, but have been seen. Yeah, that's right. That's a transition. So on that, we'll talk about Archie Wilson here in just a couple minutes, who, as according to Matt Rule, never played in a football game before, which makes sense, but is hard to fathom. This guy is going to be Nebraska's guy, and apparently he might be the best guy, one of the best guys, but he's never actually played in a football game. What happens after you kick it? You have to go tackle the guy. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like coming up in just a little over 2 weeks.
I did watch The Replacements this weekend.
Yes.
So,
they had a kicker who smoked cigs.
That was kind of what I was envisioning. Yes.
Yeah. And he had an accent.
He did.
Yep, this kicker's got an accent too. This punter's got an accent
They're
too.
gonna break my legs.
Speaking of that game coming up in 2 Thursdays, 2.5 weeks away, the football road trip, 1620 The Zone football road trip. This is an online contest only, powered by Bankers Trust. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today. Head to 1620thezone.com for your chance to win 2 tickets to Cincinnati and Nebraska at Arrowhead on August 28th. Tickets, parking, lodging near the stadium, and a $100 gift card, all for you, all for entering at 1620thezone.com. And one more time, it is powered by Bankers Trust. Experience the Bankers Trust difference today. So let's get things going here a little bit, Josh. I like a little interaction to start the show.
Okay.
So I tweeted this out this morning. I see the trend of people asking others what the 4 major U.S. cities are. So I ask you this. What are Omaha's 4 major streets? When I was thinking, and this like occupied a lot of my brain this weekend for some reason. I don't ask what goes on up there, but like I was thinking about this a little bit. When I was thinking about it, I was thinking about the streets that run east and west, not the streets that run north and south. So I was thinking about Dodge, and so I had in my head, I was thinking like Dodge, Maple, Center, and then there was like another one that was like, if you live south, you're probably thinking Harrison or something like that. But then I tweeted it out, and we got a whole bunch of different responses, and I think that this is a better way to go with it. I mean, we're talking about everything here.
Yeah,
we're talking about the north. Don't forget about the numbered streets, the north-south running streets in Omaha.
They're
and
part of it.
Our friend Black Cat even brought up interstates.
See, for whatever
Which
reason, I did not envision.
I don't want to do 80, 680, 480, and then Dodge. Maybe that makes it a little bit too easy, or whatever it is. Now, if you're driving through traffic, but the point is, like, it's whatever your interpretation of this is. So when I've seen people answer the question of what are the 4 major U.S. cities, like some people go 1 in each time zone, right? They go New York, LA, Chicago, Denver. That's what I would say for the record.
Oh, okay.
One in each time zone. Some people are just going like most populated. They go New York, LA, Houston, Miami, or something like that.
I would go New York, LA, Chicago, Houston.
New York, LA, Chicago, Houston. So it covers west, east, north, and south.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. You could do it that way. But I think there's a lot of room for interpretation here. So here's what I've gotten on the responses. Our dear friend producer Joey tweeted in.
Joey man.
Dodge, 72nd, Center, L, and Maple. Well, I guess Center and L he's counting as the same thing. Okay. Honorable mention 144th.
Yeah. Those feel like the big ones, right?
Mike, who clearly lives in East Omaha, or the eastern part of Omaha, Dodge 24th, Chicago and 20th.
Whoa.
Which I think are just the streets that surround like Central High School, basically. Which is a great take by him if that's the case. Dave, a Lincoln guy, said Dodge Center 72nd and 132nd. Interesting. Now, there was a time where 72nd would have had to be on the list. Has 72nd Street been rendered obsolete by the rapid westward growth of Omaha?
I was thinking about that during the break. Like, does it need to be on there? Do I use it? It's a heavily trafficked street.
72nd and Dodge still means something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means anymore. But it means something. It means construction. It means there's a library and there's a giant dirt pile, which has grown trees on my... I noticed on my recent drive-by.
Oh, really?
The trees are tall, man. You wonder how long that those have been there. Curtis said Dodge, Maple, Center, and 72nd, and then he gave me a next 4 out. First 4 out, I guess. 13th, 144th, Pacific, and Blondo. JB said Dodge, Maple, Pacific, and Center. Contenders, Blondo, Fort, Q, and L. Anthony said Dodge, Center, L, 72nd. So we're seeing a lot of Dodge and a lot of 72nd. Nick, who lives in the northwest area of town, clearly, 144th, 132nd, Fort, and Maple.
Oh, I love that.
Which, yeah, that's kind of wild. So this might be the most square one. Dodge, Center, 72nd, and 144th.
I think that's where I would land.
Dodge, but Dodge and Center are pretty close in the grand scheme of things.
They are.
But if you're doing Dodge, you're going right down the middle, so something's going to have to be close to it. Maybe you could go Q, I guess, in that category. But Dodge, Center, 144th, and 72nd covers a lot of your ground. It doesn't really cover downtown quite as much, but much of the city has, like I said, sprawled west.
I don't mean to throw a wrinkle into this whole conversation, but
go for it, Josh.
What are we trying to do? Are we trying
That's up to your interpretation.
Okay. I figured that was going to be a response.
That's the fun of the game.
Are we doing businesses, or are we doing, hey, I'm just trying to get somewhere?
That's the fun of the game. You do whatever it is you'd like. Plaquette says 50th and Capitol. Agreed.
Two very good streets.
I look out to Capitol and I say, yeah, that's it.
Although along 52nd, they're doing that. Hey, we're going to tear up your yard and put some internet cable in there that you're not going to use. You're good with that, right?
Yeah. That's great. So
temporary setback. It'll be back stronger than ever.
We will keep this mostly off of the show, but we had like 5 minutes here, so I wanted to talk about it. People are like, all right, football season needs to get here. I agree with you, by the way. This would not be a topic. This would not be a topic in October, but here it is. Seth emails in.
Hi, Seth.
Sorry, can't text, but he can email. Dodge, 204th, 370, and L. And then John says 204th Street has 3 times the stoplight density of any other street in the metro. It must be important. Don't get me triggered about 204th Street. I will not have it on this show. All right, so we'll keep this mostly off, but just wanted to bring it to your attention. Maybe a talking point in the YouTube chat if you guys want to argue about it throughout the remainder of the show.
I would like to know which streets Sam would vote on.
That is a question that we will ask Sam, certainly. We'll be back. Maybe we could ask Mike Schaefer, a man who almost lives in Omaha. We are back talking about Nebraska's new secret weapon on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, this just in from the sports desk. The preseason Associated Press poll is out. And
she's a beaut, Clark.
Nobody retweets the AP anymore. They just do their own clicks.
They'll screenshot it and put it out there.
They will do everything but RTing the Associated Press. Have some respect, the Associated Press. Nebraska, their place in the AP poll, they did receive 23 votes in the top 25, or 23 points, I suppose, to the top 25. So I believe if I have this right, if you receive a 25th place vote, you get a point, and then 24th you get 2 points, and then you just keep on going up. So Nebraska got 23 points. I don't know what their high. I'll have to check the AP poll tracker. I can pull it up right now. Let's see if it's out. But usually doesn't update till about an hour afterwards, so they can collect all of those. Oh no, this is updated. Show detailed rankings. They don't have the other stuff. Anyway, Nebraska is the equivalent of, what do we say, Josh? 34th?
That is correct.
And they are not one spot behind Iowa. They are, in fact, way in front of Iowa, who only received 5 votes in the AP Top 25. Can you believe it? They got to be in the 40s, Josh.
44th.
44. Colorado got a vote. Nebraska is well in front of them as well in the preseason AP poll.
Louisiana Lafayette got a vote.
Number 1 preseason is Texas. Right in front of Penn State, just barely in front of Penn State. 25 first place votes to 23 first place votes. Ohio State at 3rd. Clemson 4. Georgia 5. Teams on Nebraska's schedule. Obviously, Penn State number 2. Nebraska does not play Oregon this year. They do also not play Illinois this year, who comes in at 12. Michigan comes in at 14 in the preseason AP poll. Indiana, not on Nebraska's schedule this year. Thank God we don't have to deal with that crap. 20. And wow, I guess that's it. So does Nebraska only play 2 preseason top 25 teams?
That's right, Connor.
That they might be calling Nebraska's schedule a cupcake.
USC receiving votes a few spots ahead of Nebraska.
Does Nebraska have a cupcake schedule? So they're still putting the voting together on the poll tracker. We'll see where Nebraska ranked, which writer ranked Nebraska the highest, and which of them didn't write them, didn't put them in at all, and then we will go attack them, because that's what we do with the preseason AP poll, because it matters so much. By the way, just one follow up of the roads. So Black Cat has access to some data, which is great.
Oh,
he checked out the traffic counts, the live traffic counts. It says quick read of traffic counts. We really underestimated Saddle Creek and 24th Street, also 42nd Street, surprisingly high. Yeah, think about those.
Thank you, Black Cat.
As you think about it. Chris writes in,
hi, Chris.
Where's Houston Christian Arlington in the AP poll? I don't think Houston Christian got any votes this year, because I don't think that they're eligible to receive votes in the FBS preseason top 25, because they're not an FBS team.
No.
Actually, they are eligible to get votes in the AP polls.
Yeah.
But they are an FCS team.
Every now and then you'll see North Dakota State or South Dakota State pop in there.
Yeah.
Fox ranked all the FBS schools 1 to 136 over the weekend. Akron 4th worst.
Interesting.
They are on Nebraska's schedule.
So you're saying Akron's not good?
That was what my research showed.
That's what Fox says?
Yes.
Well, who cares about Fox anyway?
Well, I did my own research while you were gone.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Good to know. And then we get this from the text line from John.
Hi, John.
Apparently the Associated Press doesn't know that Iowa signed Mark Gronowski from the portal.
Have they heard?
Did you see his throws? And then people were quick to find the write-ups from Iowa's open practice over the weekend and saw that he went like 11 of 24 or something like that and threw a virtual pick, not a virtual pick six, but a pick six that we could assume was a pick six because nobody was going to tackle him. Fascinating stuff. All right, but let's recenter things here on Lincoln. Nebraska practice over the weekend. Troy Dannon, of course, talked on Friday. Matt Rule and the Huskers had their first scrimmage of camp on Saturday. So let's first get you the thoughts from the scrimmage from Matt Rule. What's this? Now, Matt Rule likes to, when he wants to emphasize things, he just says the same word over and over and over again. Remember the Iowa game a couple years ago when he said it was painful, it was painful, it was painful, it was painful, it was painful. All right. So what's he emphasizing this time? Let's find out from Matt Rule's scrimmage thoughts from Saturday.
I thought we were really, 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 really efficient on offense. I thought we were able to both run the ball and throw the ball. The one caveat to that is that when the quarterback's not live, sometimes guys are blitzing and running by, and I'm saying stay off them. So, to stop a guy like Dylan, you're going to have to get to the quarterback and affect the quarterback. So there's probably a lot of plays where, guys are blitzing, they have to pull up. And I just think on defense, a lot of good things being done on defense. I just think we have to continue to tackle. We have some elite running backs, and it's really hard to tackle those guys. And so our tackling is something that has to improve based upon we did a Wednesday short yardage live period and today's live period. And we just need those reps. It's the first week of tackling. We're going to have to really improve that this week. You think about it, really 5 more practices till training camp is over and 9 practices until we start game week. So when I say over, like next Saturday, kind of as you get in the next week, you start a little bit of game planning for 4 days and then game planning full out. So we have a real sense of urgency, and I think tackling is probably the main thing. And then we got some punt, we got some field goals. Really pleased with the field goal operation today. And it looked like the punt, I've never enjoyed punt periods in my life, but it's my favorite period of practice right now. I just could watch Archie punt all day. I've never seen anything like it. So it's like watching a YouTube short. I mean, the guy's amazing. So what he does. So I used to walk over the O-line during punt period or kind of stand to the side. Now I'm out there like with popcorn because it's really a fun thing to watch. I hope we don't punt a lot, but when we do, it'll be fun.
So Matt Rule, a couple takeaways from that. Matt Rule is super duper cool with the kids.
It's like watching a YouTube short.
It's like watching a YouTube short, which
that's better than an Instagram reel.
Yeah,
right?
like I think that's meant as a compliment, right? That the kids are enjoying the YouTube shorts these days. I have no idea, but it's like watching a YouTube short.
But he also got the specific branding right. That is what they are called, YouTube shorts.
YouTube shorts, like watching a YouTube short. I used to just go, bleep off at the end of practice when we were doing punt period. Now I watch.
Get your popcorn ready.
It's awesome. So there was a follow-up on that, but we did glaze over the offense being really, 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 4 reallys efficient. But
is it because the defense sucks?
As you mentioned in there, the caveat is it's tough to tackle right now. Now, is that just early camp stuff? Is that, what is that? Because I think that was something that popped out in the first open practice that they had a week ago last Saturday as well. Of like, yeah, this is just, it probably is early camp stuff, but something to watch. You got to be able to tackle.
Yeah.
Right. But it's good that the offense is really, 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 really efficient. We could pass it and we can run it. So I think there's a lot to go off of with there. And then, talking about the defense and some of the things that they have going on right now, we gotta figure out how to tackle, and maybe that'll come around, or it'll certainly be something that we watch on the first, during the first game. Like, can they tackle? People will be counting those up, and stuff like that. But does it necessarily rate high for me on the panic meter at the moment? And then somehow, some way, as Charles writes in, fall camp is a zero-sum game. I actually wanted to hear that the offense was operating. Like that's a good thing to hear in my mind. I'll take the good from, people always say like, well, if your offensive line is good, that means your defensive line is bad, right? Well, I don't know. I just like to, call me a sunshine pumper, but I like to extract the good things out of what he says. And that's usually the first thing he goes to. So I think that's a positive deal for Nebraska. The offense is operating efficiently. And then, on the scrimmage thoughts, it ends up turning into a conversation about the punter. And so there was a follow-up asked. So, okay. This is now the second time you have not been really asked about the punter, and you just keep talking about the punter. I love this guy. So now we get to learn a little bit, not only about what Archie Wilson does as a punter, a little bit of the backstory, and a little bit about what kind of teammate he has been over his not very long, month maybe, of being at Nebraska, coming over from Australia. Here is Matt Rule on his new superstar punter.
So think about this. We're going to go to Arrowhead Stadium and play at 8 o'clock at night with a kicker who can kick with both feet and kick all the kicks. It'll be the first ever football game he's ever played in, I believe. He's never played in a football game before. Now, he might come up and say, no, I played in, to what Eck told me last night. I knew he was at Pro Kick or whatever, is it Pro Kick? Someone wrote a story about it, right? Pro Kick? I don't want to make sure thank you, Pro Kick. But he's never played in a game before. It'll be his first ever football game. And he knows every player on the team's name. He's 18 years old. He left his country. He left his family to come here to play a sport he's never played before. There's not a guy on the team that doesn't love him because of his personality, not just because of what he do. So I think, Mitch, it's a multifaceted thing. He's one of the coolest dudes around. He's got so much juice. He's one. Sometimes I'll say something. A lot of guys are afraid. He'll come back at me with the most witty retort. And then you've seen before when we did Chasing 3 last year. We'd have talent shows and guys get up and sing. Well, the one team meeting, I wasn't there. We had a head coaches meeting. Susan ran it, and he got up and he sang Piano Man, and it's the guy crushed it. So he's just the most interesting man in the world to me. But I think what's cool about it is just what he can do and the system. We've got athletes out there. He's rolling left. He's rolling right. He can straight punt. He can directional punt. He can banana kick, as I said last time. So there's just a lot of different things. And you should see the guys back there catching punts. Jacory, Mosey, Caleb Benning, Andrew Marshall. I might be forgetting one, but those guys are having to catch all those kicks. So I think we're going to be way better. And we haven't even introduced the south side of the stadium wind yet. So I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic.
Connor, did you see his face at the beginning of that video? It lit up like a Christmas tree.
He bookended that answer, which was, a terrific insight into the guy that they think they have at that position. And it's a relatively low impact position, right? It's the punter.
Mm-hmm. Big 10 though.
Sure. You're going to punt. If you can make something positive out of your punts, that's good. But think of the way he bookended that. We might have missed the very beginning, but he stops. He's asked by Mitch the follow-up. He goes, okay, what's so special about him? And he's like, think about this. Think about this. We're going to go to Arrowhead Stadium and play an 8 o'clock game, and he's never played in a football game before. It will be his first game ever, first football game ever. And then at the end of it, he was like, he says all those great things about him and how great of a guy he is and teammate and all those things. And he kind of steps back and he goes, I think, I think it'll be kind of interesting. I'm like, whoa.
I'm not telling you guys what to write about.
We are in man crush territory. I don't think I've ever seen a new player's fall camp stock rise more.
Whoa.
I'd have to really dig deep and think about that, but usually coaches are really pretty, as far as the individual praise is concerned before the season starts, they're kind of like, yeah, let's tamp back on it. Especially, and I'm talking about with newcomers, with guys who have been around for a long time. Maybe they're, involved in an All-American conversation, or they're involved in an All-Conference conversation or a Heisman conversation or something like that. They'll be like, yeah, I think we got the best running back in the country. Yeah, I think we got the best defensive tackle in the country. That's not crazy to hear. But I'm talking about for a newcomer. a guy that we have never seen play in a Nebraska uniform before. And in this case, especially a guy that has never played in any uniform color whatsoever because he's never played in a football game before. I'm sure he's played some rugby, Australian rules, stuff like that. It was an interesting storyline. What is this? What is it combined with Mike Eckler and the special teams unit? Like, how far could we see that group sort of jump this year? And then there's a kicker conversation too. But I think the punter, Archie Wilson, was sort of a part of that, right? He was a part of the grander special teams conversation. Now, as Rule continues to bring him up and not be, prodded to bring him up, it is a story in and of its own. It is a story by itself. Not only because of the human interest part of it, because of where he came from and how he hasn't played football before, but apparently because of the things that he could do on the football field. I all of a sudden have just like ridiculous kind of high expectations for this guy. Like, I don't know what that looks like. But Rule seems to think that they're going to get a couple extra possessions this year off of some funky, weird kicks off of this guy's one of these feet of this young man, which, I mean, that makes a significant difference if we're talking about close games and stuff like that. So he seems to think that they have a real weapon on their hands here, which is, I would not have called him that before fall camp. Now Rule has talked about him each of the last 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, they got they got something in their back pocket here. This is weird. And then that's before the Billy Joel thing, which just sent me into another planet.
Took you to a place.
Yeah.
Nebraska's first 4 games are on 4 different television networks. When Nebraska punts for the first time, you will either hear that clip or hear that clip regurgitated by the play-by-play person.
Yeah.
It's going to be the quarterback and the wide receiver are roommates. Like, you're going to get sick of hearing the story. Like, oh, don't they know anything else about Archie?
That's a great point. I was curious, and Mitch and I talked about this morning on our podcast.
Locked On, very good podcast.
What you said it, not me. What is the reception if he has a nice game in 2 Thursdays against Cincinnati? Doesn't do anything wrong, punts it the right direction. I mean, keep in mind the bar is just so low. The bar is so low for special teams play around here.
Mm-hmm.
And if he has a nice game, whatever that looks like, against Cincinnati in a couple weeks at Arrowhead Stadium, what does it sound like inside of Memorial Stadium when he comes out to punt for the first time against Akron?
Yeah, huge ovation, right?
100%.
Yeah.
People are going to love this guy. Apparently. Now, he has to get the most important part going, which is actually functionally punting
and flipping the field,
doing the things that Matt Rule is saying that he can do. But there doesn't seem to be any concern about that. I mean, this guy has like fan favorite written all over him. I mean, think about what Iowa's punters have turned into for the last, and obviously that's a team who, does it a lot and has a history of doing it a lot and makes it part of their DNA. But Torrey Taylor, now Reese Dakin, like, those guys' names.
Yeah.
If this goes like Matt Rule is saying it's going to go, then this guy is going to be one of the more recognizable dudes, which is kind of weird.
Very weird.
Kind of weird.
But I guess it does fit a Big Ten mold of some kind. And I mean, they had to know something about this. They had to have a gut instinct or a feeling, because they kicked
this was
Cook off the team, right?
This was an Eckler joint.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like they're going to talk tomorrow. I think Eckler is supposed to talk tomorrow. There's going to be an open viewing period of practice, and you're going to see a whole bunch of banana punts and kicks and whatever. So get prepared for that. But Eckler's going to talk tomorrow. And Eckler, he's a freak.
I am aware.
Yeah. And maybe they make Archie Wilson available. Maybe they make the long snapper available. Maybe they make the, Kyle Kunanen, the new kicker, available, or even Tristan Alvano or something like that. So like tomorrow is going to be your big special teams day, but this is an Eckler joint. He wanted this specific kind of guy who could do these variations of punts and different kicks and stuff like that. And then Rule was like, sure, you run it, man. Like, go for it. If we got to kick Jack McAllister off the team, then I don't want to do that. But I'm going to give him an option because he's not going to be our starting punter. And he came here to be our starting punter next year. And Eckler goes, well, I don't want him as my starting punter.
This is the type of punter I want. This is the type of punter I need. And if you're going to trust me with the system, you got to trust me with the system, right?
And that's what he seems to have done, is doing that with Dana Holgerson's offense.
Yeah.
So it seems to be the same thing with Mike Eckler special teams, who, as we mentioned, is a freak. Kenneth writes in on YouTube.
Hi, Kenneth.
Poll question: do you like your special teams coach a little freaky? Maybe there's a version of that we could ask.
Yeah, because in like 6 months, if we find out something that we don't know today, that's going to age like milk.
That's what I'm saying. Like if
good job protecting the show.
Are you really playing something like? Are you really playing college football if your special teams coach isn't like a crazy, a psycho or something like some variation of that.
Okay, we can stew on that.
Yeah, because there's different kinds of freaky.
There are.
You know what I mean? Placat says, 1 second. Placat says, was waiting for he's the kind of guy you'd let date your daughter.
Yeah.
We were very, very, if you would have let him go for 15 more seconds, that would have happened.
Just very quickly on Matt Rule and daughters, his daughter did that media availability. And one person on Twitter was like, oh, when's this program going to get serious? Bleep that guy. I don't remember his name. His name's not important, but bleep that guy. If you were like, oh, Matt Rule's kids are doing pressers. Oh my gosh, when's this program going to get serious? Yeah. Look at that. That's adorable. Get the bleep out of here. There's 24 hours in a day. We can't fill them all with serious hand in the dirt stuff.
No, I want the fall camp stuff to be as nonsensical as possible.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Okay. Back on with the show.
But yes, I did see that one guy. That was a weird take by that guy.
There's always someone on the internet fighting about something. What's the Steph Curry line?
Yeah, how like he, you told me he wasn't good at shooting threes.
Yeah.
Nobody said that. Mustache Adam Rule is talking about Archie Wilson like he's some sort of mythical legend, like Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. He kind of is.
He was, yeah.
He's frankly amazed.
You've never seen anything like this. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. They called me crazy.
This is officially a thing.
Yeah.
This is a thing. And people are going to be watching it because Rule's hyped it up so much now. John, as always, follows up with his classic skepticism. Rule didn't say a single thing that tells me Archie is going to be a good punter.
It's just going to look different.
Now, it's not about how far he can kick it. It's about how weird it is when he kicks it.
Yeah.
So Nebraska's planning on getting I don't know what his leg's like, but
and also
I don't know what his leg's like. What am I saying?
Rule didn't really get into it, but I mean, a guy with some rugby experience, you got to think there's a green light play or two in there, right? Like,
well, that was the thing, and because he can throw and he can pass. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't like in a public spec.
He can run around a little bit too. Yeah.
You know, keep that close to the vest.
One more text from Doc.
What's up, Doc?
As long as they don't try to do a fake punt in the dumbest time of a football game, I think this kicker could be pretty good. Dude, I mean, Rule has been pretty clear about his propensity to fake. He's like saying he wants people to hear this. So he said it out loud about the throwing thing. He wants as much stuff on people's minds about Archie Wilson.
Could he do this? Could he do this? Oh, I don't know how to defend it.
Correct. And he's like, well, I love faking. You know me. I love faking. So just keep it in the back of everyone's head. It's a chess game, I guess they're playing.
Sam with a comment in the YouTube chat.
Thank you,
He
Sam.
has the leg of Kangaroo Jack. That's what we'll call him.
Now, if he would have said that, then I would have been all in. He got me with the Billy Joel Piano Man stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I am all the way in.
You're telling me in the corner singing his guts out.
This guy's been here for 10 seconds and he has enough, he's got enough juice to go up in front of the team and just rip off Piano Man in front of, he's trying to fit in. He doesn't care. Not Archie. Not our guy.
Going for it.
Amazing Daniel writes in. I am generally positive and excited at the start of the season, but I just do not have it in me to get excited about a freaking punter. Look, I really don't either, but Matt Rule does.
I haven't been given a lot to be excited about this offseason.
I imagine that everything for a football coach is sort of monotonous during fall camp. It's the same thing. There's a rhythm and there's a flow to it, but he's never seen anything like this. That's what he's telling us.
That's what he's telling.
So his excitement makes others excited. Quick break. Mike Schaefer will join us on the other side. We'll ask him, we'll give him a pop quiz on Omaha streets.
Ooh.
And more on 1620 The Zone.
Here come the Guardians. Yeah, I have statistics to back up that we have people that listen.
Mike Schaefer.
Anytime there's sort of a debate as to who can do something, Happer would always put his name forth, for sure.
Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
I could be a star.
Mike Schaefer of Husker 24/7 joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Schaefer, hello. How are you?
I'm good. I learned something about myself this weekend. It's that I have probably too many golf polos and way too many pairs of socks. I have an entire duffel bag full of socks as I pack up this house.
Too many pairs of socks? What do you mean? Like, I don't think you could have too many, in my opinion.
I think I have enough socks that if I wore every pair one time, we're talking about multiple months.
Really? Fascinating. That's a lot of socks, Schaefer.
That's what I thought too. Like, who needs that many socks?
I guess I didn't understand. I'm usually borderlining on too low of amount of socks where I feel like I need to, do the laundry more often. But yeah, that's a different deal. And then golf polos, I feel like, that's a good thing to mix up as well.
The thing with the socks is, like, I would get socks every Christmas of my adult life because it's just something that, your parents or whoever can easily give you, and they're fine. And they're, everything from cool, fun looking to just very generic gold-toed dress socks that old people would give you. So, like, I have all of these dress socks, but famously don't have to dress up or really go anywhere for my job very often. So I have no purpose there. And then as far as I wear just ankle cut socks and have 40 pairs of just ankle cut socks, I guess, that I've accumulated over time.
And sorry, keep going.
Well, and I just was throwing out anything that has a hole or seems like the start of a hole, and I still have all of the socks. So I think at one point I thought I had gotten low, bought myself a new bag of socks, and now I have too many.
Are you trying to? So you're in the process of a move right now. Are you a person? Or are you the type of people that will just try to throw away what you don't need and not you're trying to not get yourself a storage pod, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have spent too much of the last few weeks selling items on Facebook Marketplace, which is a terrible place to be. We have donated 4 or 5 bags of clothes between my wife and I to, places like Goodwill or the equivalent.
Yeah.
So I am desperately using this as a purge opportunity. And I just discovered I have a lot of socks, a lot of golf polos, and a lot of hats. That's the other thing.
And you also,
the hats didn't surprise me. The polos snuck up on me. I have enough polos that it's probably close to almost a month's worth of polos.
My wife is sort of condensing things as well, and she tasked me with, because there's basically an entire closet right when you walk in from the garage door in my house right now that is dedicated to my hats, and she was like, "It's time to go through that closet." And I was like, "Whoa, that's all right."
Yeah.
I mean, because they just keep growing. There's more and more and more every time you look.
But there's a purpose for every hat I feel like I own. I just don't. That purpose might only be once or twice a year, but I still kind of want that hat,
Yeah. I don't want to throw hats away. I feel like I'm fine with giving shirts away. Shirts feel like a dime a dozen to me, but I don't know. Hats hold a close place in my heart for some reason. This will be a difficult task.
100% agreed.
Also,
I have an ottoman filled with hats.
You also learned, apparently, I'm told by Josh, about yourself in Will Smith movies this weekend. What's this about?
Yeah, so I've said this. There's this podcast that I've never actually listened to the podcast, but I watch enough of their Instagram shorts that I guess I'm a consumer in that way.
Yeah.
But they were debating Leo versus Will Smith, and they put 9 Leo movies versus 9 Will Smith movies head to head, and you don't know what's going to face what. And in my brain, I think Leo's the best actor, and that's who I would just assume naturally in this game, Leo would beat Will Smith 10 times for me. I went through, did the movies as it was, and it ended up being 5 Will Smith movies to 4 Leo movies.
Wow.
And I was pretty stunned by this because I like Will Smith. He's really, really good at times. And there's other times where I have no interest in his movies at all. But like Leo, I regard as just outstanding. So I was pretty stunned to learn this about myself.
Like it's
been quite interesting.
Schaefer, if we put that out as a poll question, obviously Leo would run away with it. But I often think I have thought this before to myself, believe it or not, that Will Smith does not get enough credit. I actually think he's quite a bit better than like the public would say that he is.
It's fascinating because there's a couple schools of thought on this. There's some people that think he's the greatest actor because he's maybe the most bankable Hollywood actor because he's been in so many franchises and, he's just been in a lot of huge roles. And so for a certain kind of moviegoer or people who are more interested in like popcorn flicks, like that Will Smith could easily be the top choice of that. But like for me, I think of, Leo has been in all of these great dramas that I really like, and he's in all of these sort of odd roles. But Will Smith has had some stuff too, like King Richard is a tremendous movie.
Great
Weird
movie.
Subject, but a tremendous movie. And so there's stuff like that too. The stuff that I ended up picking for Will Smith, like the movie Focus was one of them because I just liked it more than
That's a good movie.
The Leo option. Hitch, which I think is maybe not my favorite Will Smith movie, but maybe one of his most iconic roles.
I love Hitch. Yeah, I think that's a good movie too.
Independence Day is one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. Men in Black is a great series. But like I was never picking like Ali or anything like that. I never saw I Am Legend. That's like the one movie out of the 18 that I had never seen. So it was an easy win for whatever the Leo movie was for that one. But I was stunned to learn this about myself.
Quick one more follow-up. Which movie did Pursuit of Happiness of Leo's did Pursuit of Happiness go up against?
Okay. That went up against Inception, which I took Pursuit of Happiness because I think Inception's an overrated movie. And people are more interested in talking about the dreidel at the very end.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if it's a dreidel or a thimble or whatever. The top. Apologies to
I think it's
the
right.
Jewish
You got it
for not knowing what a dreidel is, but similar concept. So I never liked Inception as much as everybody else, but Pursuit of Happiness is tremendous movie.
Why don't we put that out, Josh? Let's do that poll question. Just pick one movie, Pursuit of Happiness or Inception, and I'm curious to see what comes back on that.
So, I bet it's going to be Inception 70-30.
All right. All right, let's see. We'll find out in just a few short hours. Mike Schaefer is with us. A bunch of great talking points. One of Matt Rule's talking points.
Talks Will Smith and Leo DiCaprio, what everybody wants to hear on a Monday.
I love it. I love it because the camp stuff can get a little bit monotonous. But Matt Rule did throw in that he's bordering on man crush territory with his new Australian punter. It seems. I asked you last week a bunch of questions if you're like buying what they're selling. How about on Nebraska's new punter, Archie Wilson?
Well, having watched him at the open practice, he certainly was good in that environment. And then just sort of what other people have said and how well he's done in practices. I mean, he's shown up and performed well in terms of pinning people and has done a really nice job pinning inside the 10 and sort of things that like I was probably overly critical of Brian Buschini given how bad everything else was around him. But one of the areas where I felt like he was a little deficient, it felt like Nebraska, if they pinned somebody inside the 20, they were catching the ball at like the 18. It didn't feel like they were getting them in the shadow of their end zone a lot. Sounds like this Australian punter has done a very good job with that at practice. It's worth noting his very first football experience is going to be in an NFL stadium at Arrowhead. Like, this is just wild to me. The thing that I'm struck by how Rule talks about him is like he's using phrases like people think he's a cool guy. And, like it feels so new kid moves into a new middle school area and is exotic and new, and everybody just kind of wants to be his best friend right away. Like that's how this punter comes across in the way that Matt Rule describes him. It does feel very middle school crush-esque.
Yeah, it's I mean, if he could be a weapon for them, though, I mean, does the fact that he is able to do different things, not that all of this is new to college football or football in general, but it is new to Nebraska. Like Nebraska's never really had a non-traditional punter before, right? Not that this is like now untraditional, but it's different. Like if Nebraska get an extra possession or two off of some of the funky, weird kicks that he does, or maybe he runs for a first down or something like that. I don't know. It feels like if everything else is fine, if the standard stuff is fine, then this whole thing will probably, be worth the avenue going down.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because really what I think most people want out of special teams this year is just competence. But if it can actually be an advantage for you, which is just sort of an insane thought given what we've seen the last couple of years, I mean, it would swing literal results on your schedule in the previous handful of seasons if you had high quality special teams. And so if the punting is going well, there's more to this than just the punter himself. Like the snap has to be there.
Yep.
The blocking has to be there. They have to actually recognize when a team is bringing extra pressure and not roll right into it. Things like that. Things other teams just sort of do that Nebraska seemingly couldn't stay out of its own way on. So if that whole operation, just in terms of punting, is a net positive for you, that's just going to be very helpful when we look at Nebraska as a whole. Like you start talking about it more as a complete team instead of a team that sort of has to beat both the opponent and itself every week to win a game.
It changes things a little bit, right? So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Like I guess I'm a little bit skeptical, but we'll see how it all looks. The other one that I wanted to ask you about, Schaefer, that Rule talked about quite a bit is his running backs not named Emmett Johnson on Saturday. In talking about Mekhi Nelson and Isaiah Mosey. How much are you like those guys are going to play? It seems like there's a clear separation in the top three at the moment with Quentin Ives being out. I guess, what do you think that those guys can give Nebraska, the non-Emmett Johnson top three can give Nebraska in the early going this year?
I'm excited about Mekhi Nelson because it sounded like he had a really good spring, hearing from different people over there at practices. He was making guys miss in the hole. He's a guy that you want to label as like a third down running back, but he actually seems like he has the ability to do more with the ball in his hands just as a straight running back than he's probably going to get credit for. He's not the biggest guy, so he's not a big power component. You're not going to utilize him as a short yardage running back. But I think his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, you can use him in screens, you can send him, in different formations. There can be a formation where you have him and Emmett Johnson both in the backfield. That can be difficult for teams to kind of pick up on. Let's say you throw Heinrich Harburg as the quarterback there. That could be fun too. So there's lots of different ways Nebraska can get unique with it. But I think beyond just that versatility, it does feel like he's someone that if something happens to Emmett Johnson, or if you just want to give Emmett Johnson a breather, the offense doesn't have to take a step back. They don't have to do anything different. It doesn't have to become just Dylan has to then throw the ball for 3 straight plays. So I think developing some depth there, and we won't know it until we get to see it in action, is really valuable for Nebraska running back, because I think it's impossible to expect Emmett Johnson to be as good as he was last year at the end of the season with the amount of carries and touches that he was getting over the course of a full 13 games. If you're counting the bowl game or Nebraska makes the conference championship game or what have you. So I think to keep Emmett Johnson healthy and effective, you need to be able to trust other guys that can step in. And if they're seeing that from Mekhi Nelson early and Isaiah Mosey, that'd be very helpful. Mosey had a really rough open practice, but I think you can easily see why they're interested in him with his size and sort of his athletic ability. He gives them another look there at that running back spot.
All right, Schaefer, as always, good to talk. Have fun the rest of the week as you continue to get rid of socks, it seems.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're all in the duffel bag now, so I don't have to focus on them that much. But just know, you might out there listening, you might have more socks than you realize when you have to sit down and pack them up.
I never really thought about that. Thanks, Schaefer. See ya.
All right, guys. Yeah.
Mike Schaefer, Husker 247. Check out his Brunts BC stuff all out there. I think there is no limit on socks. I mean, what do you lose by having more socks?
Right.
Usually the stuff, I mean, if I have too many hats, it's taking up space somewhere. If I have too many, like I don't have too many socks to fit in one sock drawer. If that was ever the case, then I would know that I would have too many socks, but I'm not even close to that. I mean, I'm close to the minimum that I want, you know?
Right.
In the summer, it's the short, like Schaefer said, ankle socks. And in the winter, it's the ones that pull up a little bit, keep you warm. Maybe there's some fun, cool designs on those socks. There's enough to get me through maybe like a week if I'm not doing laundry, and then, get back into it after that, a week or two.
Wow, you only got a week of socks?
I'm a sock minimalist.
That does feel like the minimum.
I want more.
PWP fan on the YouTube chat. If I was rich, I would never wear the same pair of socks more than once.
There is quite the feeling to the first time you wear socks.
So much cushion first time.
It's a great, and then it's literally only the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, they're not new anymore. They're just one of your socks.
Yep. I don't know what it is about that first wear.
One of life's true pleasures. What do they call those? Simple pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll be back. Josh has the odd news when we return on 1620 The Zone.
After further review, the host is deemed to be out of bounds. The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
It's time for the odd news. Coming up in the noon hour, we'll check in on Nebraska's running backs, as we just asked Schaefer about, and we will reveal the AP poll voter who had Nebraska the highest.
Ooh.
Our hero. Who might that be? Find out coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Josh has the odd news. We are running late. Wow.
Okay. First story, not really all that funny, but it is a very odd story. During Sunday's game between the Mets and Brewers, Steve Gelbs revealed a harrowing experience that members of the Jets SNY crew had to deal with after their game against the Packers over the weekend. It started with the gang praising Milwaukee fans for showing up in such large numbers for Sunday's game against the Mets, despite the flooding. He then explained what the Jets crew had to go through. They were in Green Bay. Our Jets crew, the SNY Jets crew, had early flights out of Milwaukee, so they drove back last night from Green Bay because, you know, you got to go Green Bay to Milwaukee to get out, right?
Yeah.
Got caught a quarter of a mile from their hotel, had to abandon their car and swim to the hotel.
Crazy.
Saturday, the second wettest day in Milwaukee's 154-year history.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures and the videos. I mean, it looks pretty bad. I was frankly amazed that I saw a message from the Brewers that they had to close some of the parking lots, but man, they had I mean, it didn't look like anything was going on outside of the walls of American Family whatever Miller Park.
There you go.
Because there was, you know, a still packed house, and obviously the Brewers are incredible right now, and they cannot be beat. They cannot lose. But the rain was coming through the roof on Saturday night, and then they had to, you know, take some different precautions on Sunday to get people into the ballpark. Crazy.
That's right. And that team is so hot that they are bringing their managers' eating habits to you, the fans. Pat Murphy went viral in a recent interview for pulling a pancake out of his uniform pocket and taking a bite. As he detailed different ways he shoves food into his pocket to snack on in the dugout.
I'm sorry, who did this?
Manager Pat Murphy.
Okay. He's funny. I've seen some of the videos with him. He's pretty good.
The ball club announced Friday that Murph's Pocket Pancakes will be sold at American Family Field, Miller Park, during Sunday games for the rest of the season. Murphy was asked before Friday's game what he thought of the promotion, and he said, "Yeah, you're a little late. We've been doing it since 2017."
It's good though. It's a good branding and marketing. They're just going to give you pancakes.
Definitely.
They're not going to put them in anybody's pocket, but
maybe
they'll make them look like they're in a pocket.
They're selling a Ball 4 pocket pack, including 4 pocket pancakes and a choice of maple syrup or strawberry compote dipping sauce for $4.99.
All right.
You can get the double chicken and pancakes pocket pack, which costs $8. 2 pancakes stuffed with a chicken tender and topped with bacon or maple syrup drizzle.
Good bit.
And then finally in the odd news today, sad news over the weekend, as America Online announced that they will be ending their dial-up internet service.
Oh no!
On September 30th.
Oh no!
They've given you 6 weeks to prepare, because you will need 6 weeks to fire up your dial-up internet and read this story.
Well, I think they probably should have made people aware of this years ago in preparation for this date.
Yes. Wow.
I can't. I mean, is there anyone who still has this service in the world?
I don't know. I'm
Maybe
sure
in some
there's
rural
someone,
areas. Yeah. I'm not sure.
There has to be someone, or else why is this a story? But like, I can't imagine the circumstances behind still having AOL dial-up internet.
Could you imagine not being on the phone at the same time the internet was going?
No,
it just wouldn't make any sense.
I lived through.
Could you imagine having a house phone? Period.
That too.
It doesn't make any sense in my brain anymore. And like you said, I mean, we all grew up with this. This is just how it was.
I just want to know what that person's life is like.
I do too.
If you're using America Online
that
dial-up.
sounds like a great local interest story.
Yeah.
Somebody find the last person in Omaha with dial-up and go pay him a visit and see what's going on in there. And check out whatever's going on in there.
I guarantee there are stacks of newspapers from the floor to the ceiling inside that house.
Yeah, there's a lot of junk, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is indeed the odd news. We will return for the noon hour. Once again, find out who Nebraska's biggest fan, who's a voter in the AP poll is, and plenty more coming up on 1620 The Zone.
He does it the only way he knows how. With his massive sports brain sprinkled with a smidgen of rabble-rousing. Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Coming up this week on the show, we have your opportunity to win this week's Zone Deal right here on the Connor Happer Show. Backlot Tap House gift vouchers, which will go on sale on Friday, $50 worth of gift certificates for just $25, the half-off deal. Friday at 9 at 1620thezone.com. Or you could just listen to this show and get gift vouchers to Backlot Tap House for $0.
That's more than half.
But you will have to have likely a phone line. And for one day in particular, probably you'll have to have internet to be able to win them because we'll use the tweet bag
probably
for opportunities to do so. So you never know. Blackhead said that there's 160,000 people still without or with dial-up service. Apparently, you got to have one or two of them in Omaha.
They listen. They listen.
They listen. They'd only be listening on AM radio. So I don't think
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that. I don't know. It's pretty. I don't know. Maybe you'd be listening. Your dial-up internet was just exclusively used to stream 1620thezone.com.
But nobody pick up the phone. I got to fire up the zone.
Yeah, please. It'll kick me off if you call somebody. I was also reminded over the weekend of, speaking of old things, some of the early days or the Twitter is a different place now, Josh.
I've noticed.
Did you ever see there's this guy on I think it's TikTok, but it pops up on Twitter too. He's doing like the Twitter Hall of Fame right now.
Oh, hello. No, I have not seen
it's
this.
It's really pretty well done. It does like a backstory on all these, very, very famous tweets. And the one that I saw that was featured over the weekend, because nothing's ever in order on TikTok. Who knows? It could have happened months ago. But one of the times it was featured, it was the string of Eddie Lacy tweets about China food. Have you seen these?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
So he deleted them because he was pretty. He was, he got made fun of a lot for his weight when he in his playing days.
Yes,
Eddie
he did.
Football running back Eddie Lacy. If you've ever been in a fantasy football league during that time, there's probably somebody in the league who had a team name regarding Eddie Lacy's weight or the things that Eddie Lacy liked to eat. But when he was in college at Alabama, he really liked Chinese food, and he called it China food. And he did like 40 tweets about how he was craving China food. And that was brought back to my attention this weekend.
All right.
So if you just want to, you could send it to Google. You could say Eddie Lacy China food, and you would definitely be able to find something there.
Okay.
If you want a good laugh, you want to read a couple of the Eddie Lacy China food tweets?
If I can find them.
Oh, you can find them, Josh. I got you. I'll read them all right here.
I got them.
Okay. I keep craving China food. Craving China food. ... Again. Who wants to bring me some China food? The China food I'm about to go get through. Greater than. I can't stop thinking about eating China food. SMH sad face. China food stopped and finally back to my room. ... Hashtag long day. I'm about to go get some China food. Smiley face. Maybe China food. Then I'm coming back to clean this room since I didn't yesterday.
That was my favorite.
I'm off to get some China food and then back to the crib for the night. China food time. I want China food. ... A lot of it. That's my favorite one.
I mean,
China food it is, he writes.
You remember being in college and just having so little to do that you're like, I got a tweet about how I didn't clean my room
And
yesterday.
everybody had a great, during this time in particular, yeah, for sure. And, everybody had their subpar Chinese restaurant that they, for some reason, just really, really, really enjoyed. And nobody else in the entire city really enjoyed it. But
it's a hole in the wall, but it's my hole in the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And Eddie Lacy just could not stop tweeting about China food, which is a great time, I'm sure, for him. One more here from Matt Rule before we move on to some other things for the day. Don't forget, guest coming up at the bottom of the noon hour, George Gerbo. We'll talk about Maryland football, crab cakes and football.
Fear the turtle.
Man, I was before we get to the Rule thing. So I had some options. I wasn't really doing much this weekend. I thought, could I do a spontaneous 5-hour road trip to Minneapolis to watch the Royals play? Is it worth it? I'm going to spend a bunch of money doing this.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a thought in my head. It was fleeting. Then I woke up really early, obviously, on Saturday morning because that storm rolled through. And
I heard about it.
I felt like I had the whole day in front of me. And then it was at that exact point I found out about the $59 foot-long lobster roll at the Iowa State Fair.
I got to know more about this thing.
Oh, you click on that menu that I linked to in the rundown. So apparently there's a $59 foot-long lobster roll at the Iowa State Fair. It's from a food truck called the JR's South Pork Ranch. And the menu looks incredible. Bunch of different stuff going on, including a variety of variations of lobster rolls. They have
You didn't want the $100 one?
What's the $100 one? Oh, the 2-foot-long lobster roll?
The high roller.
I
straight out of the shores of Maine, fresh lobster tossed in clarified butter, topped with 3 dollops of creme fraiche, and crowned with 3 heaping spoonfuls of caviar. Then it's appropriately topped with 24-karat edible gold.
That's not a foot long, Josh.
No, it's not.
I wanted a foot-long lobster roll.
You went for quantity. I like that.
I mean, usually like I went to Boston a couple summers ago, and I tried to eat as many, or that area of the country, I tried to eat as many lobster rolls as I possibly could. And so I got a lobster roll for lunch one of the days right in downtown Boston. And I think it was like $35 just for the regular size roll. Great. I mean, it was delicious. I'd do it again. And I'd do it again, Josh. But we're talking about a $59 foot-long lobster roll. Think about that. Think about what a foot of lobster roll is.
Yeah, I scrolled further down on the menu and found the $100 2-foot-long.
That's what I'm saying.
Lobster roll.
That's on there.
Okay.
The other stuff on their menu look good too, like Nashville hot chicken sandwich, whatever a party ball is. They got those. But State Fairs, it's fried food, and it's your ability to get imaginative with what you want to eat. A foot-long lobster roll would be at the top of the list. That would get me to a state fair.
This looks delicious.
So then I got a response to the $59 foot-long lobster roll tweet that I did from somebody from the East Coast. They're like, "Have fun with that. You're not on the East Coast." I'm like, "Look, man,
weird.
We got what we got here. We're triple landlocked. Okay, if I think my best option is a 2-hour drive to a $59 foot-long lobster roll at a state fair, I'm going to take that opportunity to do so. I'm sure it's a lot better in other areas of the country, but going to Connecticut today is not an option for me. Driving to Des Moines is. Did I drive to Des Moines, though? No.
That's too bad.
No, I didn't. But I don't know how long the Iowa State Fair goes.
Probably about 10 days, 2 weeks.
I'm interested, though. I'm interested. Sorry to talk about food right here at lunch.
Well, I mean,
we work for big food.
You got August 7th through the 17th is when the Iowa State Fair runs.
Okay, so I got through this. I got up to this weekend, right? That's 17th is Saturday, or 17th is Sunday. Okay, through this weekend. You could do it theoretically in an evening. It's a lot of driving. Just me in the open road and a $59 foot-long lobster roll.
Just put the Billy Joel on shuffle and go get yourself a lobster roll.
I could knock out a couple albums.
Yeah.
Black Cat writes in.
Hi, Black Cat.
Quote, I did not say this. 5 hours to get away from my wife and daughter to eat Iowa lobster rolls. Hell yes. They would have came with me.
Oh.
They would have. I would not have just left them all day long.
This would have been a family affair.
I don't think I would have been able to just, hey, honey, I'll be back in 5 hours. I'm going to go get a foot-long lobster roll. I don't think I would have been able to do that.
No, you just say, I'm going to go get a sandwich, and then
but
you just leave it at that.
After about a half hour, somebody's, I get a call. It's like, oh, no, I just crossed the Iowa State border.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
I'll be back eventually.
I'll be back at 6.
It's a very specific sandwich I wanted.
Yeah,
you didn't ask any follow-ups. That's on you, ma'am.
No, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. All right, Matt Rule. On top of waxing poetic about his punter, there is the narrative that Nebraska only has one running back.
I have heard this.
Have you heard this narrative? Would you agree with this narrative?
Yes. I think I would.
Matt Rule would say, bleep you, buddy.
Whoa.
Here is Matt Rule's thoughts on running backs that aren't named Emmett Johnson.
There's a misconception out there. We got great backs. Yeah. If anybody doesn't think we have 3 great backs, then I can't wait for them to see these guys. I mean, Mosey's a dude. Mackay might be one of the fastest guys I've ever seen going from, first 5 steps. Now they have to go do it in the games, right? Like I'm just talking about in practice right now. I mean, but I think that's a loaded room for us. Kenneth Williams is out there balling. Connor Booth, tell you what, he's just gaining his stride right now. So Emmett obviously has like some pelts on the wall and some pedigree being out there, but Mosey and Mackay are making a tremendous push. Quinton's still out, so we're hoping we get Quinton back this week. But those other guys have just raced ahead, and they both can catch the ball out of the backfield, and they both can protect. EJ does such a good job. Like you can't play on our offense if you can't protect, and so they do a nice job of that. But we moved Genatone over to tailback. So we have a 230-pound guy that runs 22.5 miles per hour. So he had some good runs today, and we're hoping he can. I'm hoping he can get in that I formation and short yardage and go get that yard when you need it. I know Emmett can, but can we have another guy like Genatone that can? So I'm really pleased with that room. I have some concerns. That's not the concern for me.
What are the?
That would have been my follow-up, but we kept talking about. I think there was another question about the running backs. So we were just loaded up after that. They went on to other subjects, but that would have been my open door to. Oh, interesting. You do have concerns. What are your concerns? I'd like to hear them. But we did not go there after that. That was not the next question that was asked. That's okay. That's okay. Josh, Go ahead. Just rip on our local media. Classic Josh.
Look, I know you don't want your access getting ripped away. I'm just saying what the guy in his car is saying.
Nobody's access is getting taken away for anything. But
this isn't the Frost era.
It's just I don't think that's happened very much at all. Period. I think that's anyway. How do you feel about the running backs now? They've just raced.
Well, as long as
race.
First 5 steps. I need my running backs to run more than 5 steps.
All right. So I think
I like having a big bruiser back there. I like having that as an option.
I think there's a couple things going on. Okay. First of all, I don't think the Genatone thing that he mentioned at the end there, I don't think that's happening. I mean,
very specific.
Right. We're talking about a play.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But what the criticisms are when you put in him and you don't get the yard. It's like, why did you take Emmett Johnson out of the game? Yeah. Why didn't you put the ball in Dylan Raiola's hands? That seems like a much better use of your time. So I think if I'm to characterize the running back situation, I would characterize it like this. They have Emmett Johnson. I don't have many concerns about him. Although I do think sometimes the hype train gets rolling on him a little bit fast. I think he'll be better. I think the offense will make him better. Point blank period, I trust Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson is a trustworthy running back. Is he going to make the extra play? I don't know. And I would describe what Nebraska has behind him as a similar but less experienced version of that. Quentin Ives is out right now. Already, you're already limited in terms of options that you have past Emmett Johnson in terms of guys who have just played point blank period at all. And then Ives is out. Ives got a couple carries in the bowl game, and that was basically it. So now we're talking about a guy who's a freshman, a true freshman, who just converted from wide receiver and has never really played running back consistently in his life, and Isaiah Mosey. And the other guy being Mackay Nelson. And I think if you're putting young guys like that into the football game, the boxes that you want to check are their ability to execute the full scope of the offense, right? Usually the thing that holds freshmen from getting back on the field, freshman running backs from getting on the field, is they can't pass pro. They can't pass protect. Or they don't know where to be. Or you can't put them in for 6, 7, 8 plays in a row or something like that. So the fact that they have that down and they could trust them according to rule, that's probably a good thing. What are they going to give you in terms of explosiveness and making, breaking tackles and busting off long runs and stuff like that? Like, in my mind, nothing. I don't know. Maybe the situation arises where they're in the game and one of them busts off a 20-yard run or something like that. But I see those other two running backs as safe and less experienced options. I don't see I don't see an explosive, ideally, in my opinion, the guy that you want behind Emmett Johnson, the guy that you want, nipping on his heels at the moment, because I would describe Emmett as a pretty solid, safe running back. I don't think that he's super top end great. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about ranked with the other running backs in the country. I'm talking about, can you bust off long runs? Can you break tackles? Can you make the extra play? I would describe Emmett Johnson as a capable, serviceable, solid, good college football running back. So ideally for me, how I would want the running back room to set up behind him is a super duper high ceiling guy who just doesn't know where he's going, a little bit deer in the headlights. I don't know where he is right now, but we'll figure that out. We're going to give you some really specific stuff to do inside of a game. We're going to get you to master 4 or 5 things. And then once we feel comfortable, we'll put you in those exact scenarios. The rest of the time we have Emmett Johnson and he's solid. I don't think that's what Nebraska has right now. I don't think there's another guy that exists like that on their roster. I don't think there's a guy point blank period who exists on their roster that I would describe as a super high ceiling guy, frankly. So what they've done at running back is I would call creating a, it's a safe room. I think it lacks ceiling, and that doesn't mean it can't be productive. If those guys, have risen as the two, talking about Nelson and Mosey, if those two have risen to the point of you feel like you can feel comfortable putting them in games and they're not going to screw up, awesome. I have many, many reservations on what they can bring you as far as the ceiling is concerned. And that's where people if I'm thinking about my football team in fall camp and I hear stuff from the coaching staff about how I think this guy's going to be really, really explosive and can really make the plays, can really give us something extra. That's when I start getting excited, because you're talking about raising the ceiling, identifying guys on the roster who can theoretically raise your ceiling. I don't think Nebraska has a lot. I don't think Nebraska has any of that at the running back position, to be completely honest.
D'Lo on the YouTube chat. No game breaker. No one who can score from anywhere on the field. It's a bit concerning.
Yep. I don't know if it's concerning. Because I think there's guys in there who could get yards. But I think all the guys in there are guys who need to have yards kind of schemed for them and blocked for them,
I want a run that's going to make me yar, though.
You do.
I do.
Do you oftentimes yar when you see a really good run?
Oh, yeah. He'll bust through to the next level.
Yar! What are you, Steve the Pirate, Josh?
A little bit.
You see that big old pot of gold, and you're like, yar.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah. No, I don't think Nebraska has any yar guys.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I would agree with TC. I think Nebraska has always been a program who has had a game changer running back, and they have lacked that, a lot of it.
Oh, you've been on this for 3 years.
I've been on it since Amir left.
Yeah.
I just don't think they've had a game changer back there since that. Amir single-handedly propped up a 9-win team by himself, basically, in 2014.
Remember when he beat McNeese State?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I need a little bit of that. I don't think Nebraska has a single guy like that on their team. That's no offense to Emmett Johnson, who I think is solid and experienced and going to have a good year. Like, just because you aren't a top end, all conference, all American caliber running back doesn't mean you can't run for 1,000 yards. That is that's what makes it even more confounding to me how Nebraska hasn't had 1,000-yard rusher since a Zigbu. Doesn't make any sense. Because I think you can run for 1,000 yards in a college football offense without, you should be able to do that. I don't want to get too hyperbolic with it, but Nebraska should have more than one over the last decade. Okay. And I think they probably will this year. I think Emmett Johnson will have 1,000 yards.
Hello.
But that's because I have a lot of confidence in Dana Holgorsen, Dylan Raiola, and the offensive line. I know that sounds like really mean to Emmett. Hopefully Emmett uses all that as motivation. But I just think they lack an elusive playmaker at that position, including Emmett, and they definitely lack it beyond Emmett. That's for sure. Like Dila says, Mo, not every guy has to be as electric as Mo Washington was, because that guy was an absolute freak. But what I described earlier as a guy that you put in the game in certain scenarios and you just kind of give him the football and you just kind of see what happens is that. I don't think he had any idea what he was doing. But damn, he was a good running back. He was either faster than you or could shake you, And he had a little bit of, if he would have actually worked out in the weight room and, stuck around, he had the frame where he could put some pounds on too. He could have been a really super running back, but he had some other stuff going on, as we know.
We all do, don't we?
In some cases, they're different. in his case, they're a little bit different. All right, let's take a break. We will return and talk Maryland. Is crab cakes versus lobster rolls like a rivalry?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah,
I like crab cakes. They're not as good as lobster rolls.
Probably, right? Hey, we're getting some food for the table.
If you're from Maryland, do you have to hate lobster rolls?
I wouldn't think so.
But it's a rivalry.
But there's a time and a place for both, right?
If you live in the shores of the Atlantic in Connecticut, are you like crab cakes? Are you kidding me? I don't eat that swill. It's a question, great question for George Gerbo. I don't know if I'll ask it, but I think it's a great thought. Let's talk some Maryland. They're next up in our summer opponent previews coming up on 1620 The Zone. right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. We have made our way almost in order. We did skip Akron and Houston Christian, Josh.
I did them the day you were gone. I didn't have a guest.
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
told the people what they needed to know.
That's good. Hard to find people who cover those programs, for the record. Cincinnati, Michigan State off the list. Next up for Nebraska, a trip to Maryland, and that's where we bring in George Gerbo from the Washington Times. Joins us now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. George, thanks for doing this. How are you doing today?
Doing well, Connor and Josh. Good to be with you guys. Thank you for having me.
All right. So what's the storyline here in camp for Maryland? Is it the quarterback quote unquote competition? What are we looking at for the Terps here?
It is indeed the quarterback competition. Mike Locksley, KG as always, he's not going to name his starter, much like he did last year. We're talking about a program that, of course, came off of having Talia Tungavailoa there as a veteran and as an experienced player at the position for 4+ years. Eventually sets the Big Ten's all-time passing yards record in the process. Last year, he goes with Billy Edwards, who was Talia's backup, and Edwards has since transferred out, and he'll be in the running, if not the starting quarterback at Wisconsin this season. So three-way, as Locksley puts it, a three-way competition. Justin Martin transfers in from UCLA. He's the only player with any kind of experience. He played in 3 games last season for the Bruins, started one of them, all those early in the season, and add to that Christian Martin, who's a guy Maryland's had in camp as a freshman, performed very well in the spring game, kind of surprising people in the spring game, was the spring game MVP. And then, of course, the people that most have their eyes on, Malik Washington, who's a local kid from Archbishop Spalding High School. It's about 40 minutes east of College Park near Annapolis, Maryland, 3-time Maryland state champion, one of the top recruits in this 2025 class. And he chose to stay home and come to College Park and play for Maryland. And I guess the question is, if he doesn't start the first game, when does he get the starting nod? And will Locksley actually go with a true freshman as his quarterback, which is something that he's not necessarily want to do in most cases.
Yeah. Is he the odds-on favorite at the moment, even though he has a history of not wanting to start freshmen there?
Yeah, it put me in the shoes. I would give him the chances to play in these games and to start right away against Maryland. Typically does this, and you're seeing the rest of the college football world do this, where they schedule, no other P5 teams. So they've got Florida Atlantic, they've got Towson, they've got Northern Illinois before they get into the meat of the Big Ten schedule, of course. So I think that's a perfect time for your true freshman to get the experience under him and then not have to do this will he, won't he thing. If I were to bet on it, I think that Locksley will probably pick Justin Martin as the guy who, hey, he's played in this league, even though it wasn't, much of a cup of coffee, to use a baseball phrase. And then he'll at some point get Malik in there for some second quarter, second half snaps. He showed us last year that he's willing to do this back and forth thing. Cam Edge, who was a quarterback that was in the program the prior 2 seasons, got a lot of playing time early on in the season as well as later in the season. So Locksley was very flexible in that regard, and Edge transferred out of the program after last season. So I can see a scenario where he doesn't necessarily start Washington right away against FAU in week 1, but that he'll go with Martin and then try and provide opportunities for Washington to get some playing time, and then maybe down the line later in September be like, okay, we're going to go with Malik now as his starter, because he's proven to me that he can catch up to the speed of the game in the Big Ten.
Mike Locksley said at Big Ten Media Days he admitted that he felt like he lost the team last year in their 5-game losing streak to end the season. Losses to pretty solid teams. I mean, Minnesota, Oregon, Rutgers, Iowa, and Penn State. But it tailed off, as it sort of has for Maryland at the end of these seasons, even though it's not the Big Ten East and the Big Ten West anymore. What was at the heart of that for Maryland last year? Why did did Loxley, come to that sort of realization? What happened at the end of last year?
Yeah, he always gives us, I call it kind of his, State of the Union type address. And he uses Big Ten Media Days to kind of get his talking point out there about, what is kind of like the thing he's going to move forward with. 2 years ago, if you'll recall, was Maryland is here to contend and play for Big Ten championships. And the talent may have been the case with that, but they fell short in terms of production in knocking off the Ohio States and the Michigans of the world. Last year, he said his give-a-dang was busted or whatever. And then this season, it was the rearview mirrors ripped off. And admitting it's kind of a big thing for him because he's pretty honest with us, but he does stick to a lot of the coach speak. But for him to come out and openly say, like, hey, I lost the locker room last year, and we got a chance to talk to some of the players here in the first couple of weeks of camp. And some of them were, I would say, at least for me, like I was surprised, they were surprisingly candid that, yeah, we had guys that were receiving NIL money that got playing time over other guys who may have been better at the position. And a couple of Jalen Husky, a couple of the players, multiple players cited that as a reason when asked, like, yeah, we had some guys in the locker room that were upset about playing time based on NIL and whatnot, which I assume is something that's playing out all across college football, but it hit this locker room pretty hard. They only won one game after week 4 last year. It was on homecoming against Southern Cal, which made absolutely no sense. Maryland had to come back in the fourth quarter. The students stormed the field. It was very bizarre for a 3-win team at that point. That was the only game they won in the league. And they had other chances in there. Michigan State walked them off on a field goal. Jonathan Kim. In the final minute, they drove down with Michigan State had a freshman quarterback, drove down the field in September in week 2 and beat them. So there were, I'm not saying they would have been a bold team because there was a lot of lopsided results, but they Rutgers is a team that they usually hang with, and Rutgers, outclassed them. Iowa, same thing. So they could have been closer to a 5 or 6 win team, but just it appears that at some point after September, the haves and have-nots kind of divided into sides in that locker room, and it wasn't something that they could rectify among themselves. And I'll add into that, too, that Josh Gaddis, who was brought in 2 seasons prior as the offensive coordinator, in the middle of last season, Loxley made a change and said, I'm going back to calling the plays instead of Gaddis, which was basically the sign that Gaddis wasn't going to return after the season, and he did not, replaced by Pep Hamilton now. So a lot of just turmoil in the middle of the year last year that Maryland couldn't recover from.
How much, I guess I'll ask it just bluntly, how much time does Loxley have to kind of figure this out?
It's an excellent question. So a lot of shifting dynamics in Maryland athletics. If you recall the basketball season where the team made the Sweet 16, and then in the midst of the best run they've had in a decade, the head coach, blew up the spot of the athletic director saying he's going to leave, and also I want more resources.
Yep.
And then the head coach himself left, Kevin Willard, to go to Villanova, and the athletic director, who was extremely loyal to Loxley, Damon Evans, took the same job at Southern Methodist. So you've got a new athletic director who is, from Big Ten experience, Ohio State, leading their alumni program, came from Atlanta, came from the Atlanta Braves, has plenty of experience in the professional ranks, and he's surrounded himself with what I think is necessary in this day and age, people, administrators, to modernize his athletic department. There's always kind of been this weird, I don't want to say cloud, but just Maryland's athletic department, I mean, going back a decade since they joined the Big Ten, has always been kind of weird. Debbie Yao, who was the athletic director that kind of led Maryland into the Big Ten, it was a financial decision. They were in debt, and the ACC wasn't given payments, and so here's the Big Ten. And so one thing led to another, and so now Jim Smith takes over this department, and he has really, in a short amount of time here, remade it in his image. And he, from what he has said, both publicly and privately, he is, behind Loxley. Loxley is someone that the entire program, all the teams are rooting for, because they know that football stirs the drink, not only in attention, but of course in money in this day and age. So I'm willing to say 2 years. I think that because you had some people last year, and of course the knock on Loxley is win the big game. So they won 3 straight bowl games and got winning seasons, consecutive 3 straight winning seasons. but they can't beat Michigan. They can't beat Ohio State. They can't beat Oregon. They can't beat Penn State. And thankfully, they only have Michigan on the schedule now because of the divisional realignment, but there is still this can't win the big one monkey on his back. And I think he gets 2 years specifically with this recruiting class because it's a top 25 recruiting class. I think on 3 or 24/7 has him at number 22 overall. So he's done a really good job in the recruiting space. When it comes to getting the on-field results, that's where they've been lacking. So I think with a freshman quarterback that is as talented as Malik Washington is and can be, 6'5", big kid, super calm demeanor, good head on his shoulders, I think you give Locksley 2 years to see how that works. And then at that point, if I'm Jim Smith, I think you've got to take a hard look at maybe now is the time. We've given him as many opportunities as we can. This is his 7th season, so you'll be near, a decade of Locksley with, besides the bowl wins, nothing really major as it comes to the league in terms of victories.
Well, you mentioned, there is opportunity in this, and the schedule this year, it sort of lines up the softer non-con. Start at Wisconsin, who's a little down, and then a crucial stretch with Washington, Nebraska, and then a trip out west to UCLA before it gets tricky with Indiana. There's Rutgers in there, at Illinois.
November is awful.
Michigan, right? It's fascinating. So it's kind of split up, but yet again, it feels like another sort of softer kind of ramp up for Maryland with opportunities to win games early.
Yeah, there are those first 3. They've done a good job of in the past couple of seasons providing those opportunities. The Big Ten did that wrinkle last year where everybody played a league game in the first month. I don't think that he liked that that much, especially with some of those games being on Fridays. He really hates the Friday kickoffs, the Friday night kickoffs. So yeah, you've got a chance to be obviously a 3-0 team here and then going out to Wisconsin. Traditionally, they haven't played well at Camp Randall, generally because the weather kind of wreaks havoc and plays a factor. I think the last time they were out there was a kind of a rainy game, but and of course it's such an intimidating environment. But all these places that they go are going to be interesting, these road games, because of first time playing in the Rose Bowl against UCLA. That's an opportunity for a win, even though it's such a long trip because of how UCLA is expected where they're going to be in this league this year. Again, Rutgers is always kind of a toss-up. Maryland has usually owned that recent rivalry. The league calls it a rivalry. I don't think Maryland fans would necessarily call it one, but it's a close enough rival just up I-95 that should be a winnable game. You host Michigan, which is by numbers, by ranking, the toughest game right now on your schedule. Illinois will be a tough one. They came in here 2 years ago on homecoming with, I think at that time, their second or third string quarterback and upset Maryland on homecoming before bye week. And that left a bitter taste in everybody's mouth. And Locksley, of course, was an assistant out there under those Ron Zook led teams some years ago. So he's always talked pretty admirably and favorably about his time in Champaign. So, month of November is tough. Of course, the AP poll out today, and Maryland misses the top 3 teams, the Penn States and the Ohio States of the world, but they've got the 3 ranked opponents on their schedule. They're all going to be in the month of November: Indiana, Michigan, and Illinois. And who knows if other teams can pop in to the rankings on their schedule. Like I think Nebraska can be a ranked team by the time that game comes around on October 11th. So they can get off to a nice start and bring this very young, very inexperienced team in the first month of the season, and then you get into the teeth of the Big Ten and you start on the road. And it'll be a slog from there, I think.
2 months from today, Nebraska and Maryland out in College Park. George Gerbo in the Washington Times. So we'll be talking in a little under 2 months, probably, again, if you're down.
Yes, absolutely. Would love to.
Thanks, George. See ya.
Yep, take care.
That's George Gerbo of the Washington Times. I asked him if he was down.
You did.
Which I wanted to kind of squeeze in there a little bit.
And he said yes.
We got him. He's on the hook. This is what we try to do, Josh. You go out on the limb one time, and then they're friends forever.
That's what summer school is. It's okay.
He was good. So checked boxes, great phone line, great voice, knew what he was talking about. Maybe next time we could see if he's got the humor, we could ask him some funny questions.
Yeah, we weren't.
First time's a feeling out period.
Yeah, not the right time to ask him, hey, is crab cakes versus lobster roll
right.
a rivalry?
Right. Maybe next time. We'll put that on the thing for 2 months.
What did I agree to? Who are these yahoos talking to me?
Right.
Yeah.
You feel it out. Like the first drive or the first couple of possessions of a basketball game in the NCAA tournament.
First 15 plays are scripted.
Feel it out. Feel it out. Also, we'd love the Ron Zook name drop.
We do.
Good job. Good job there. Maryland, yeah, three bowl wins before last year, 3 straight. Winners of the Pinstripe Bowl, Duke's Mayo Bowl, and Music City Bowl in 21, 22, 23. Quarterback, we'll see what happens there. And I don't know. Feels like they kind of have to figure it out a little bit this year.
Got to right the ship this year or it ain't going to be good.
Quick break. Sam McKewon is going to join us at the top of the hour. We still have all of our other topics, our non-Husker topics that we haven't got to today, like the Devil Magic Brewers.
Yeah, what's going on up there?
Mariano Rivera tearing his Achilles at Old Timers Day.
That's kind of funny.
And children umpires on television.
Many takes.
We'll pick 1 or 2 of those next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys?
Isn't it funny how a heat wave can cause you so much stress when the AC unit that's supposed to keep you comfortable, well, isn't? Now the issue is finding a service company you can trust. Enter Skradsky Heating and Cooling. Skradsky Heating and Cooling is local, family-owned, and they've served the Metro for more than 70 years. They're known for honesty and reliability, so no worries. Just cozy comfort. Visit heatomaha.com to find out about the Skradsky difference, because comfort shouldn't be complicated.
The last time Nebraska played Maryland, 2023, a game that, remember 2023, Josh? You remember what happened that year? That was the year Jeff Sims was the quarterback.
I do remember.
Nebraska started 5-3.
And you booked a Vegas vacation.
Yeah, that's right. Well, in this game in particular, all 3 quarterbacks had a hilarity of errors. All 3, meaning Jeff Sims, Heinrich Harburg, and then finally Chubba.
We were talking about this during Jeff Sims
Jeff Sims came in for a drive.
And turned it over twice or something like that, right?
Well, there was the Purdue game that year where I think he came in for a drive and fumbled.
Okay.
And they took it back. I think that was the Purdue game that year. Sims Sims' drive in this game was a touchdown.
Oh,
In the Maryland game was a touchdown.
okay.
He zapped them right down the field. They scored
Yeah, okay.
a third. I think it was their only touchdown of the game, a third quarter touchdown drive. And then he got pulled because I think he turned it over again. He threw 2 picks and fumbled in this game, but he had the touchdown drive. And then Chuba came in on the last drive from their own 3, down by 3, 13-10, and goes all the way down the field. Nebraska's offense looks as good as it ever has that entire year.
Hey, we're going to get a tie here at least.
And threw a pick in the end zone.
This game, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the origin of how many devices can I load up on my Peacock.
Probably. This might have been the first Peacock game, yeah. Yeah. So, stat line alert. Quarterbacks for Nebraska. Sims, 8 of 13, 2 interceptions, 62 yards.
But a touchdown.
Purdy, 1 of 3, 1 interception, 24 yards. Harburg, 1 of 5, 1 interception, 0 yards.
Wait.
Yeah, that's right. Heinrich Harburg was the starter in this game, went 1 of 5.
Had a completion
for it totaled 0 yards. Threw a pick, got hurt. And then Sims came in, threw too many picks. They pulled him, and then Chuba also threw a pick.
Platcat would like you to read the receiving stats, and I don't have the box score in front of me.
Oh, I can tell you that.
I would like you to read it as well.
All right, here we go. Nebraska, Billy Kemp, 2 catches for 30 yards. Jalen Lloyd, 1 catch for 25 yards. Joshua Fleeks, 2 catches for 11 yards. Thomas Fedoni, 1 catch for 9 yards. Emmett Johnson, 3 catches for 9 yards. And Alex Bullock, 1 catch for 2 yards.
It's going to get it done.
So somebody had negative receiving yards. Or somebody had a negative reception in that game. I just don't know who. But yeah, that's bad. That's not very good, Josh.
Oh, no, it's really not.
It's not very good. Nebraska ran it for 183 in that game, but they passed it for 86.
God. It was not a weather game.
It was cold, but not particularly a weather game. Tulia Tagovailoa, 27 for 40, a pick, and 283 yards. I remember he was just like dinking and diming all day long, basically. Yep. Fun times, Josh. Very fun times.
Very.
Kenneth says, that's Husker football, baby. Crab cakes and football. We should go watch that for fun if we want some pain.
Is it on Peacock forever? Or do they kind of erase them at the beginning of each football season?
It's got to be on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a great comment here from Alex on YouTube.
Hi, Alex.
Have we just blacked the whole Jeff Sims era out?
Yeah.
Did that even happen?
You just kind of remember amigos and turnovers, right? Like that's all we really remember about it. But like living in it, like you got to sit in it, and this is your quarterback.
Well, we
forget,
because remember he got hurt in. So if I go to the 2023, the 2023 season, because he got hurt in which game before turning it over to Heine? Was it the Louisiana Tech game? Or yeah, because Heine started, I think, the Michigan game, or maybe his first start was the Illinois game.
That receiver tore Nebraska up for the Bulldogs.
But yeah, so he's horrible at Colorado. Northern Illinois, I can't remember anything that happened in that game. Nebraska won 35-11. Rules first win. And then the Louisiana Tech game was just meh. But yeah, somewhere in there he got hurt. And it was like, yeah, I don't know if we're going to bring him back. He throws too many picks anyway, because then it was Heine time. And then they kind of ripped off some wins. They beat Illinois. They beat Northwestern. They beat Purdue. Lost to Michigan State close. That was a Heine game. And this started the string of absurd 3-point losses or overtime losses to end the season, 4 straight on the brink of bowl eligibility. That was fun. That was fun. Josh, were you referencing Troy Edwards when you said the Louisiana Tech receiver? That was back in the 90s. It did not happen in 2023.
Oh, who am I thinking of?
Probably Troy Edwards.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he set a receiving yards record, I think, that day.
I'm sorry.
At Memorial Stadium. Nebraska won
that was the record he broke. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That was a long, long time ago.
My brain no worky so good.
What do we think about this kid, Josh? Right
swing.
here at the St. Louis Cardinals Chicago Cubs game. Young gentleman decided to go to the game dressed as an umpire, mimicking the umpire.
He's coming in first. Oh, there's no question.
Yeah, I don't know what the
scoreboard who that kid's going to be.
Look at him. He's just looking at the ump, doing everything he does. And yet, the internet has turned on the young fella.
Well, there's a reason.
Why? What is the reason?
Because he went and did it again the next day.
Yes. I forgot to mention that part.
One time is cute. 2 times it's okay, you're doing a thing, and I don't like it. Not organic.
You have been commenting on people's ability to parent today. What do you think about this?
There are 2 things that you should not do. This is my parenting book. It's more of a pamphlet, but whatever. Don't bring your children to a horror movie at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night.
1.
Don't dress your children up in the hopes that they go viral. And then when they do,
what if the kid just
again?
has a dream? What if?
What's his dream?
I want to be an umpire.
Then take him to the little league, and like, hey,
well, he probably does. He doesn't have little league that night. He wants to go to the
shadow you.
What? So I have seen the internet yell at this kid, and look, that was my first thought too. But then I'm like, hang on. What if, like, you know how kids are? Sometimes they want to wear a stupid hat.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's okay.
I have a friend whose kid just will not take off a beige tie. He can't stop wearing a beige tie.
Wow.
And if he's not wearing a beige tie, he's like non-existent. He's inconsolable. He loves his beige tie. You remember the kid from Big Daddy?
I do.
He had to have the scuba.
That's right. Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve. All right.
What happens if this kid was just like, I have to be an umpire or I can't function? My body doesn't work. And he just happened to be at the baseball game that night.
I mean,
what if it's that?
Then I'm going to further, like, that's almost worse than, hey, kid, I'm going to dress you up and you'll be on TV. You good with that? Yeah, Dad, that sounds great.
So either way, it's a parenting thing for you. I agree. Maybe sometimes you just need to tell the kid no, but sometimes you want to tell the kid to shut up, you know? And the only way to get him to shut up is turn on Bluey, or in this case, let him be an umpire. Maybe that's this kid's Bluey. Maybe there's more than meets the eye here, Josh. Maybe there's more than meets the eye.
Morning Show did a poll.
Oh, really?
Kid umpire, awesome or lame? 81% said lame.
Everyone is saying lame. Everyone is saying lame.
It's that second time.
But is it the kid's fault or the parents' fault?
I mean, I guess the kid is somewhat complicit in this, yes?
Sure, but, you know, the kid is
it's a cute
the parents
kid.
Are responsible for the kid.
And, like, they went the extra mile and got him, like, the real stuff. They didn't just
like,
put him in a light blue polo.
What
and
I'm
call
saying,
it good.
Josh, is like, what if saying no wasn't an option? But the kid did it in a cute way. It wasn't like I'm trying to go viral. I'm trying to be on TV. It was like, I want to be a major league umpire, and this is what I want to do. And you guys have great seats at the Cardinals game, and I want to call strikes and timeouts. All that love.
In that very specific instance that child wants to be a major league umpire, yeah, I guess I'd probably do something similar. I've just got a hunch that that's not the kid's career aspiration.
somebody's going to talk to this kid and their parents and his parents and see what's going on.
That kid is going to be at the next Savannah Banana.
Yeah, he'll be. Well, he can't take home plate because that's the dancing
That's
umpire.
the dancing umpire.
And he can't take third base because that's the TikTok kid. Maybe first base. Now the first base one's the guy who does flips.
Wow.
Well, what about the second base umpire? Oh no, the second base umpire wears like a bird on his head. He's a falconer. I just made that up. It might be true.
You sold the hell out of it. I believed it.
We'll check in with this when information becomes available. We'll be back with Sam McKewon coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Sam McKewon is the newsman. Sam McKewon, Omaha World Herald. On the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Josh is just really excited to have Sam on, which great take by you.
Thank you.
I am as well. Just hitting that open button a little bit early. Let's get him up here. Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald joins us down the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. Sam, good to talk again. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. We've seen your AP poll. We've seen it. It looks great.
Yeah.
And you have Nebraska at number 25. Explain yourself.
Well, I think some of it is that I think Nebraska is probably a top 25 team if you put together all of the components. There's a small component of scheduling in there. So Florida is not a top 25 team. The reality is Florida's probably going to go 6-6 or 5-7. It's just very hard to look at it that way. Very hard to rank a team if you feel that way. So preseason polls are projections. They're predictions. They are not based on results, and they're really not based on last year. So the way you're supposed to do it is this is the one poll that is not responsive to results, really. It is to some degree responsive to what happened last year, and also somewhat responsive to, what you think might happen.
Yeah, it's kind of vibes, right? It's the most vibes based poll that we have.
Right. So quarterback plays a factor. My poll's a little different. I don't have Illinois in it. A lot of people will be surprised by that, but I don't think Illinois is going to be as good as they were last year. And obviously I don't think they're going to be as good as Nebraska. So there's 7 Big Ten teams in it, and Nebraska is one of them. And that's kind of where it sits. I think there's 6 in the overall poll. USC, Illinois is in. USC, I think, is 30th, and Nebraska's 34th. I have Illinois probably 27th. I have Florida 26th. And that was probably the hardest one, because what I do is I go through all the records and the wins and losses, and I just can't get Florida over the hump. So it was kind of between Florida, Nebraska, Illinois, Missouri. And Missouri's going to have a pretty good record, I suspect. I think they're going to be 8-4, something like that. But this is going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. I think Nebraska's a better team than Missouri, which is why Nebraska made it into 25. So anyway, that's more than you probably wanted to hear. But I do have Nebraska at 25. I don't know that they were going to be a ton higher. I had Michigan just a spot above them. I think Michigan's just a little bit better.
You weren't alone. There was 4 others who left Illinois out of the top 25. But there was a wide sort of range for them. I want to dig into it just a little bit more. What makes you zag on Illinois this year? You mentioned the thing with Nebraska. I mean, the schedule kind of lines up. The schedule obviously lines up for Illinois. They return a lot. So what is it about Illinois that is sort of off-putting to you so far?
Well, it's, I have a lot of respect for what they're doing there. And I think they could go 7-5 or 8-4 and be a darn good football team. But let's be clear. I mean, this is a team that won a ton of one-score games last year.
Yep.
So you can slice this a whole bunch of ways, but this is a team that beat Kansas by 6, beat Nebraska by 7, beat Purdue in overtime by 1, beat Rutgers by 7, and beat South Carolina by 4. And those matter, to be clear, but typically what I expect to happen is a kind of a reversal of fortune. I actually think that some of those games will go the other way this year. For example, they play Indiana and Ohio State and USC. And those games, I think, will go the other way. They play Indiana on the road. They play Washington on the road. They play Wisconsin on the road. I just think some of those games are probably not going to go Illinois' way. So it's not a question of, I think they're 12th in the poll. And I'm just telling you, any team that's 12, you think they're going to win 10 games. And I don't think they're going to win 10 games. I have Indiana much, much higher because I think Indiana is going to win 9 or 10 games. So I'm really comfortable with where Indiana's at. And I also think they have the better quarterback. So, it kind of just depends on how you look at it and how you want to slice it. There's probably 45 teams that could be ranked in the top 25 this year.
Yep.
And there's probably 5 or 6 teams that could legitimately argue that they're number one. And how often is the number one team in the country going to be? I think they're going to be an underdog in week 1.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just, like Texas was a team I considered. Certainly I considered Penn State. I put Penn State number 1.
Yeah.
Georgia would probably be number 1 if they had a better quarterback. I think Georgia is probably the best team, but their quarterback play is questionable. And this is always true of teams that have defensive coordinators as head coaches. Nick Saban made this incredibly good decision, I don't know, however many years ago, a decade ago now, to hire Lane Kiffin and to kind of overhaul the offense. And then when Kiffin left, they brought in Brian Daboll. And then when Daboll was gone, they brought in Sark. And Saban, to his incredible credit, did a great job of giving that side of the ball to people who really were really, really good at it. That's not Kirby Smart's story. And so even though they've won some national titles, he kind of goes back to the same guys over and over. and Mike Bobo, I think, is there now. And defensive head coaches struggle with quarterback play. They're just not very good at it. And Georgia has been up and down there, and so they're number 2. I think they're probably the best team in the country, but I think their quarterback's going to cost them a game or two. And that's probably where it's at. There's a whole bunch of things that I put into that mix. Clemson's 3. I could have easily put Clemson number 1. They were in consideration. I did not consider Ohio State. So they are number 5 in my poll. I think they're 2.
They're 3
in the regular 3.
Yeah.
I did not consider them. They don't know who the hell their quarterback's going to be. And I have read everything out of their camp. They do not know. They don't know. Now they might play Julian Sand. He might end up being really good. But the idea that they're going into the opener against Texas with a certitude that he is their guy, it's not true. And people that keep insisting that it's just not accurate. You listen to the beat guys on the ground, and they are not tilting it that way. It reminds me a lot of the conversation around Michigan last year. Now Ohio State's got a better quarterback play than Michigan, but it's very similar. Michigan had no idea who they were going to start at quarterback, and you know that because they started about 7 guys. And so the same deal with Ohio State. They have not firmed that position up. They have the 2 best players in the country. I think they have good lines of scrimmage, but they are I've got them losing 2 games this season. I've got them losing twice. And so that's kind of where it stands with the Buckeyes. And I don't think that a 2-loss team is going to be your number 1 team. So There you go.
Sam, what you said about what Saban did, bringing in offensive coordinators and as a defensive coach, turning the offense over. I mean, does that sound familiar at all? Right? Not that Matt Rule is Nick Saban, but a defensive-minded head coach and bringing in a guy who he just trusts and completely turned over the offense to him. I mean, they're needing it to be as impactful, basically, as that was.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I have him ranked is because of Holgorsen. I think you added a second head coach who's a real additive to that program, and he's just a boon. He's just a really helpful guy to have in there, and he's going to help them. So I think that's part of the reason. If they were running it back with Sat for year 3, I think I would be skeptical. So Holgorsen being there, I think, tips it over the edge a little bit. John Butler, I think, is a wild card as a coordinator. I certainly think he could be big time this season, but he's also going to be a risk taker that is going to put Nebraska in some unique positions at the same time too. He's very comparable to Bo Pelini. He's a more thoughtful person in press conferences than Bo Pelini. I'll say that. And he's not, but the nature of these 2 guys, they're actually pretty similar. They're both kind of riverboat gamblers who are really good coaches in practice and really good position coaches and understand the DBs really well. And they are going to roll dice, and they will call based on their emotion. So Butler is going to call you're going to see some calls this year. You're like, boy, what'd you base that on? And it's going to be his gut.
Yeah.
It's going to be a gut call. And so it could go either way with Butler. And
isn't that the right fit though for defense? Like, I certainly you'd rather have that on defense than offense,
Well, sure. I'm not knocking Butler at all. I mean, Bo Pelini was an incredibly good defensive coordinator, so I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that, like at Iowa, Phil Parker runs their defense, and it is a solid, sturdy shell that week after week does the exact same things really well and prevents scoring. It doesn't necessarily create a ton of turnovers all the time, but it's a solid 4-man pass rush with quarters coverage in the back end. Like, what Iowa's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska's going to be. They're just going to be a little bit more exotic and risky, and they're going to do different things. And he's going to take chances, and their guys are going to be really handsy and aggressive. And I like watching that kind of defense because I think over time it intimidates offenses and it makes it hard for them to operate. I'm just saying that, like, he's a wild card, whereas I think Holgorsen's going to do all the things that we would hope he would do, and Butler is a high reward, but there's going to be some risks that come with it. There's a reason why I think and I don't mean this in a bad way, he wasn't a coordinator for a long time, in part because he is going to do some stuff that's a little different And a lot of these coaches in the NFL, they don't really want to do that. So, there's not a lot of coaches that want to pair themselves with Jim Schwartz.
Yeah.
But this is kind of what this guy is, like he's a kind of a Jim Schwartz, Greg Williams back in the day kind of guy. Like he's going to take some chances. Whereas the flip side of the coin is a Spagnuolo with the Chiefs, who's very sound and very solid, and he'll do a few exotic things, but you know what the Chiefs are doing over and over. So that's all. That's all I'm saying is it's going to be a good, fun thing to watch with Butler. And sometimes it's going to hit big, and sometimes the other team's going to make a play.
Yeah, I think they could be more explosive, but they're gonna get beat a little bit more as well. With that being said, as you put the whole puzzle together, there's the offense, there's the special teams part of the puzzle is here. It's interesting to think about how much it's changed. First of all, since Rule's been here, I mean, he always touts himself as a defensive guy. Does it feel like to you the offense needs to be the sort of stabilizing force for them? I mean, would you even say that maybe Nebraska is an offensive-oriented football team now? Is it changed that much?
It wouldn't hurt if they were. Teams that make the playoffs tend to score points. It's not they don't shut everybody down. They tend to put points on the board. So if you go back and look at the playoff teams from last year, there are a few teams that are more defensive-minded or a little bit more modest in the way that they played offense, but for the most part, those teams could score points, and I think that's absolutely an area that Nebraska wants to explore. So you want to try to get over that 28-point number, and that's when you're starting to cook with gas. Got to get over 28. Your defense needs to be good, but hitting that 28 figure would help, and I think if they're able to do that, then they could have a really good team. We'll just have to see. They had an opportunity, for example, if the weather had been better at the Pinstripe Bowl with some of the guys that Boston College had out, I think Nebraska could have put up 35. The weather kind of kept them from doing that, but they need to be able to have an offense that can uncork and just go off on opponents. And starting with Cincinnati, there's no reason why you can't score 28 or 35 against Cincinnati. It doesn't have to be this 17-9 win. It might be 17-9, but there wouldn't be anything wrong, and I think everybody would agree there wouldn't be anything wrong with scoring a whole bunch of points against it.
Certainly an interesting start to the season, that's for sure. Sam, always appreciate it. Great to talk, and we'll do it again next week.
All right, take care.
Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Man, that's kind of a weird thing to think about. Nebraska last year, 23.5 points a game offensively, 103rd in the country. They're going to be better than that. How much? 2023 Rules first year, 18 points, 123rd out of 133 points per game. They allowed 18.2 that year, which was 13th in the country. They allowed 19.5 last year, which was 17th in the country. I think both numbers are going up. Sam thinks both numbers are going up. I mean, but that's not to say the defense can't be good and can't do its job in the, in the grand scheme of the equation. We're putting the whole meal together here. But how much better does the offense need to be for how much the defense might lose? Just in terms of, like, if we're just getting it down to the main number, if we're just getting it down to points per game. How much points are you losing off the top defensively? And how many points do you automatically put on the offensive side of the ball? And does the offensive one outweigh the defensive one? And by how much? That'll decide whether Nebraska, can be a team that wins 8, wins 9, or contends for a playoff spot. Whatever it might be. The Illinois thing is odd. I would most certainly rank Illinois in the top 25. I am a well-documented Illinois and Indiana hater, but I do think they deserve to be in the top 25.
You would rank them, yes.
Yeah.
Even if you thought they were
That doesn't mean they're any good.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they're any good, but I'd put them in the top 25. They are number 12 for the record. Sam was among like I said, 4 other people nationwide who vote in the AP poll who did not have Illinois ranked. By the way, we were talking about it earlier. Who loves Nebraska the most out of AP poll voters?
Yeah.
Great question.
Who is it?
I'm glad you asked. Let's go to John Wilner. John Wilner, the San Jose Mercury News.
Wilner Hotline or whatever. Yeah.
That is exactly right, Josh. Had Nebraska ranked at number 18 in the Associated Press poll today.
Hello.
And Mike Hill, he of hosting halftime shows on FS1 during college basketball games.
Oh.
You know Mike?
Yeah.
Used to work at ESPN.
That's right.
And
yeah.
now has been, I mean, he was one of like the day one guys, I think, at FS1.
Yeah.
He's got an AP vote. He's got Nebraska at number 19. Our dear friend Aaron McMahon, who just joined the show last week talking about Michigan, had Nebraska at 23. And then Sam had him ranked. Kevin Carter, who is a person, had Nebraska ranked 24. Joe Aruda of the Hartford Courant. Hartford.
Connecticut?
Yeah.
College
Imagine
football?
that. UConn, handshake meme, Nebraska, handshake meme, hating Creighton.
Whoa.
Honk, honk. The anti-honk there for a Joe Aruda. All right. We'll be back. We still have a variety of different topics to discuss coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
This morning, I put a hoodie on just to feel what it felt like.
Yeah, you got sleeves on.
I just did it. I put a hoodie on because I wanted to feel what it felt like. Well,
what'd you learn?
I learned that toward the end of a season, I crave the next season. And
Really?
we want to prepare you for the next season. And there's only one thing that could get you into the fall mood.
Pumpkin spice lattes.
Basically, it's the physical, amusement park version of that.
If
it's
pumpkin
Vala's
spice
Pumpkin
lattes
Patch.
were a place.
If pumpkin spice lattes were a place, it would be Vala's Pumpkin Patch. And we're giving away two, or a season. No, we're giving away one. No, two season passes to
you
Vala's.
gotta go with somebody.
Yeah, you do. 1620zone.com is where you can find the Vala's season passes. Get yourself a caramel covered apple. Get yourself a big old turkey leg. Play in the place with the balls and you fire the balls at the little kids. That place is great.
Whoa.
They have all sorts of new stuff every year. The cidery, there's ciders. You can do anything you want. Vala's Pumpkin Patch. We want to send you there. Enter online 1620zone.com right now. Josh.
Connor.
We're going to talk about the Brewers on this show. We don't talk about the Brewers very much on this show.
We do not.
The Milwaukee Brewers are now 17-4 since the All-Star break. They are on a 9-game winning streak. They appear to have devil magic. They are 73-44. They have the best record in baseball by 4.5 games. They also won 7 games in a row going into the break, which makes them 24-4 over the last 28 games.
Whoa.
Somehow, Andrew Vaughn has turned into an incredible baseball player. And a little guy by the name of Isaac Collins has now started himself a NL Rookie of the Year campaign.
Honk, honk.
And it's off and running. Isaac Collins, via our friends from OptaStats over the last 20 games, 10 multi-hit games, a walk-off home run, and 16 team wins. The only other rookie in the modern era to have each of those marks or better in a 20-game span is 2013 Yasiel Puig.
Oh, that was a comet streaking across the sky.
Yes, some have called it Puig sanity.
Yes.
I just actually made that up, and I think that was pretty accurate for how Puig's career turned out. Hopefully Isaac Collins' career will not turn out the same.
Right.
But what a run that was.
Wow. Drake Baldwin or Isaac Collins is going to win NL Rookie of the Year. Either way, I win.
That's right. I don't know what to do with these guys. So here's I came up with this. I figured we had to talk about them today on the show. I'm going to put up on the YouTube screen right now a graphic of their starting lineup from yesterday.
Oh, no. Are you going to make me sound like an idiot?
I'm just going to put it up there.
Okay.
And I just want to look at it. I don't want to see what you know what the Twitter accounts that are trying to get retweets nowadays, you know what they say when they're trying to get clicks, like the Dove Klimans of the world? They say, at the end of the tweet, they say, "What do you notice?"
Oh, yeah.
What do you see here? What do you notice about this? What do you notice about this, Josh? This is the Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup from yesterday. This is, once again, I will tell you that this team has the best record in baseball by 4.5 games.
I know one of those guys.
Do you?
Is that what?
Is it Isaac Collins?
No.
Okay. All right.
It's the Contreras, and it's really just that I know his family.
Well, you know his brother probably more famously, but this guy has been very good for a good while now.
Is that what I'm supposed to notice? Is that I don't?
What do you notice?
That I don't notice any of these people.
What do you notice?
I
mean, this is absurd.
Who are these people?
What they're doing right now is actually certifiably ridiculous.
Peaking too early, right?
Well, I mean, there is the people who will tell you that this doesn't actually matter because they get to the playoffs every year and nothing ever happens after that. But likely they're going to be the best team in baseball as we head into the postseason here, unless they trail off quite dramatically.
Mizorowski pulled a Charizard in the clubhouse the other day. I saw that video. He was very excited.
So Isaac Collins is a nearly 3-win player on Baseball Reference's WAR formula.
That's good.
Which is tied for second on the team, behind only in the offensive on the offensive side, Bryce Terang.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right, Josh. Bryce Terang.
I prefer Aaron Harang.
You know who's not in the lineup right now?
Bryce Terang.
Probably the only guy that you've ever heard of on this team, Jackson Chorio.
Yeah.
Or maybe Christian Yelich.
Yeah, I've heard of both of those guys.
Neither of them in the lineup yesterday from Milwaukee.
Are they better without Jackson Chorio? I don't know. Many are saying.
So I think what's happening here is Bob Uecker is doing something.
Oh.
Bob Uecker is posthumously doing something. I don't know what. Maybe he thought it would be funny because he was pretty self-deprecating about the Brewers and baseball over the years. So maybe what he's doing is he's making a big joke. Because this is a big joke. This is fake, what's happening right now.
It would be...
The Brewers have the best record in baseball by 5 games, and nobody's heard of any of their baseball players.
It would be Bob Uecker's luck that the team
gets
good.
I choose to think that this is Bob Uecker's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in a higher power.
He's the puppet master up there?
Yeah. He's like, you know what would be funny? After I died, I made them good. Or something, you know?
I put the Brewers in the front row.
Yeah. Something like that. That's a good promo bit idea if they don't mind making fun of the idea that Bob Uecker died.
Yeah. I think they're aware.
Yeah, everybody's probably pretty aware by now. Had to talk about him.
Let's put a pin in this. Let's remember this, that the Brewers are very, very good at baseball.
They are incredibly good, Josh. Incredibly good. And they just keep doing amazing things.
24-4?
Correct. Over their last 28 games. Elsewhere in baseball, I really like how both of the New York teams are a flaming dumpster can right now.
Good take.
Great. It's so much fun when the Yankees and Mets are like good for a portion of the season and then a disaster, especially at the same time. And it's reached the point of epic proportions.
Start of the season, both fan bases got their hopes up because both teams were pretty good out of the gate.
I told you at the beginning of the season that the Yankees wouldn't make the playoffs, and boy, am I going to be right.
Yeah.
The Mets might be okay, but it's not going well right now.
Aaron Boone, you're going to look good at a TV desk next year.
Will they actually do anything about this? My gut says no.
Feels like we've danced around this for the last 3 seasons now, that it might be the time.
And it's going so bad for New York's baseball teams that even the players who they love and adore and were, had unimpeachable careers, like say Mariano Rivera,
pretty good,
comes back for an old timers day game, is playing center field, goes down to basically just bend over and tears his Achilles.
Oh, his Achilles. Okay. I put ACL on the graphic. I'm sorry.
He tore his Achilles just moving. A true sign of an old man.
Yeah.
But
wow.
Put Mariano Rivera in the growing list of Achilles that have blown up.
What's going on there with that?
I don't think this has anything to do with anything other than Mariano being old. Did you see his at bat in the game before he tore his Achilles and had to be removed? I mean, he smoked. Like, he looked like he's in pretty good shape.
I just watched the video.
He smoked the ball in the left off of Andy Pettit, who threw it about 56 miles an hour up his way. I mean, he crushed it in the left. And then all he did was bend over in center field and blasted his Achilles into smithereens. Mariano Rivera famously, during batting practice in Kansas City in 2012, went to go shag a ball and tore his ACL.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's that famous shot of, I think it was A-Rod who had hit the ball in BP, and they had the MLB ballpark cam, and he hit the ball to center field, and Mariano kind of goes tumbling over, and there's the shot of, I think it was A-Rod going like this, like, oh my God, no, dear Lord.
What have I done?
What the hell? But yes, tough times. Tough times in New York for baseball.
The only thing I saw from the Yankees Old Timers game over the weekend was the photo of Johnny Damon.
Holy God. He is a big boy.
Looks like somebody took a photo of Johnny Damon and like stretched it wide like silly putty.
Yeah. Well, he's
on one of the boat shows.
That's right. I believe it's called Below Deck. Josh.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. I knew I'd know it when I heard the name.
So I haven't watched the show. But some have talked about how he's kind of he's a bit of an antagonist on the show.
Bit of a Richard?
Yeah. Fascinating for what people thought about Johnny Damon back in the day. Yeah. He looks not great. Baseball in New York is canceled.
Oh no.
On to football season. What could go wrong?
The Jets and the Giants will be great this year.
That is should we do our quick NFL preseason roundup?
Okay.
Here's what I saw over the weekend.
Okay, tell me what you saw.
I saw more people get seriously injured.
Ambulance.
Yep. I saw a 70-yard field goal.
Yeah, saw that.
By the guy from the Jags. He's a former Arkansas Razorback, by the way.
Did not know that.
And Shedeur Sanders. He looked good.
Let's not overreact.
Why are people having a tough time saying that Shedeur Sanders played well in a preseason game?
He played well in a preseason
game. Why can we not say that? Why are we not capable of just saying that out loud?
That's fine. That's
he
the
played
line.
well in a preseason game. It doesn't have to mean anything. Yeah. But people have a tough time just admitting that he played well. He played well.
Shedeur proving the haters wrong. No.
What? He played well.
Yeah.
As we said on Friday, he had an opportunity, and we thought that the opportunity, if it wasn't very good, was going to be probably pretty fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
But he played well, and he played well enough for him to stick around. I think that's for sure. I would be surprised if he wasn't rostered by the Browns.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely will be. Yeah,
and he should be. And he should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they're approaching the whole thing, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he played and started games for them this year. It's not like Flacco is a better option.
No,
here's your options. Here's your options. Kenny Pickett, Flacco, or another rookie.
Wow.
Or Shedeur.
And we have to play the game.
You have to play one of those people.
Ooh, I guess Flacco until
Shedeur's ready?
No, until Flacco shows me he's got nothing left. Now I understand.
He's shown everybody that.
He took the Browns to the playoffs last time.
The Browns did not go to the playoffs last year.
Last time Flacco was on the team, or was that the Colts?
He took the Colts to the playoffs.
Took the Colts to the playoffs.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah. Very few have taken the Browns to the playoffs, Josh.
That's right.
Baker Mayfield was one of them, though.
Look at him.
He's doing great.
He is.
I think Baker took the Browns to the playoffs.
Sure. Sounds right.
All right. We're digging ourselves a hole here.
I heard Cam Ward played well.
Hey, look, I'm not on Team Shedeur by any means here, but I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to just say he played well in a preseason game. It doesn't just say it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's physically hurting people for him to say that he played well.
He's definitely becoming Tim Tebow not in the way he plays or anything like that, but just I'm in the camp, yes or no, and nothing will move me from my spot.
Yeah, he's culture war guy.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, we're back with the polls. We'll tell you what to watch after this on 1620 The Zone.
He gives you the latest sports news, analysis, and commentary in a clean, concise, and disease-free way.
See there?
What a relief.
Thank God.
Wonderful.
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I just.
What were you watching?
That was the video that Nebraska put out today from camp. That was the equivalent of Matt Rule's walking video today.
It was unintelligible.
I don't know what.
Visually, was it good?
Well, I guess
it sounded like there was a huddle and maybe like a snap, like a spike or some sort of celebration.
I can't describe to you what I just saw.
Okay, it's gonna make this hard.
You'll have to go watch it. I mean, who am I to give Nebraska more clicks? But you'll just have to watch it.
At Husker football,
I got nothing. Would you like to watch it without the sound on the?
Yeah. What better way to end practice than an epic shadow boxing battle? Wow, was not prepared for that.
It wasn't that. That was not shadow boxing.
Matt Rule looking like Guy Fieri. Okay, got Cortez Mills and Andrew Marshall in the circle. Their hands are both behind their backs. Oh, we've zoomed in far. Ja'Cory Barney hyping up both combatants.
Yeah.
Wait.
And then they just make hand motions. I thought they were going to play rock, paper, scissors.
I thought that's what they were going to do too.
They did not play rock, paper, scissors. They started.
Are they doing odds or evens?
No.
Are they
I don't know what they're doing, Josh.
Are they trying to like, hey, catch my finger?
I don't.
This is not shadow boxing.
No.
Oh, it ended with like a cocked fist.
Yeah. Somebody's got to explain that one to me. I got no idea what's going on.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the polls, Josh.
Hi, polls.
Should you be allowed to make Reubens on non-marble rye bread? No, you shouldn't.
I would. Yeah, I agree with you.
60% say no. Do you want to be on the Reuben police? Yes.
No,
I do. 67% say no.
I don't care for the sandwich all that much.
Would you see a buddy cop movie starring me and Matt as the Reuben police?
100% yes.
50-50.
Oh, come on.
At this point. Can you have too many socks? No. 50-50. Pick one movie, Inception or Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith.
Schaefer said it would be 70-30 in favor of Inception.
I've been thinking about this all show long. I don't know the answer. My answer. I can't pick. I like Inception. I love both of these movies.
Both are great. I did
Pursuit of Happiness makes me feel more.
I liked your guys' take that Inception is a little overrated.
It's good. I like it. It's overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave my vote undisclosed. I'm not gonna say which one I picked.
Wow.
63% say Inception.
Okay.
Not quite the spread that Schaefer was looking for there. All right, those are the polls, Josh. What are we watching tonight?
Well, I will tell you that Inception is on HBO Max. You will have to pay to rent or watch Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay.
Baseball on our TVs tonight. MLB Network 640 in Milwaukee as the Brewers host the Pirates. And then MLB TV free game of the day at 7. The Arizona Diamondbacks take on the Texas Rangers. 7 o'clock on ESPN, a 3-hour-long Fantasy Football Now episode. I assume it's a draft special, because why would a fantasy football show need to be 3 hours long? And then a replay of Jets-Packers from over the weekend at 7 on NFL Network.
Mm-hmm.
Big Ten training camp is at Iowa today at 7 o'clock on BTN.
Mark Gronowski.
And that's right. Find out how great he is. And if you saw Weapons over the weekend, you can watch the lady who played Shanice and Uncle Buck on Uncle Buck, 7 o'clock AMC.
Okay.
The John Candy Classic.
Yeah, I love Uncle Buck.
A great movie.
I feel like I did not have to have seen Weapons to see Uncle Buck.
I was just trying to tie it into something that was hot and buzzy.
All right, thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching. That's the show for today. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Crossover is coming up next.